was chances at either end, there was good football played, there was goal mouth incidents, and we thoroughly deserved the point. And every Leeds United fan watching on the box must have been delighted with how they performed. I know I was just delighted, and speaking to people, you know, like just in general, walking by you in the street or wherever, oh, what a great game, how well they played. I think that's the feeling about the club just now. You know, they started the season very well. They could have been a little bit better off in points, a little bit. But if you says looking at the start, you know, you've got to play Man City and Liverpool, you know, and you've got 7 points, we'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah, Tony, you were one of the lucky people who got to watch the match, bringing all the action and the atmosphere to LUTV. Like Eddie said, first 15, 20 minutes of that game, I think we're all watching it with that monkey hands over face emoji going, oh my word, how's this going to end up? But resilience and Leeds showing again an ability to respond.
They've got that in spades, and you know, anytime I suppose the side is questioned, they come back and show us, you know, the resilience that they've got. They were fantastic. The first 15, 20 minutes, I have to say, I thought, we need the ball. Can they loan us the ball so we can play our stuff? And they looked really good, didn't they, as well? And they could have taken 1 or 2 chances, but didn't. But after that, I thought then we responded really well. And then we blow to blow. We didn't set back either. Sometimes when you are getting battered like that, you're thinking, hold it a sec, let's just take stock here. We didn't. We did the opposite. We thought, right, we'll keep going at them. And the second half was fantastic. I thought that the fitness was tremendous. How we played was wonderful.
It's not in the nature, I don't think, of the present group of players to sit back. You know, I think Tony's right. They just keep trying to play. I think the first 15 minutes, you know, we've got to be honest, and De Bruyne and Raheem Sterling were on fire. And that was a big concern because they were making openings. De Bruyne's breaking for the midfield area. Sterling's getting people 1v1s round the box. Then you're a bit concerned. I mean, the good thing for us, in that first period of the game, they never got a second goal, which they looked as if they were going to get.
To be fair, I think then it would have been very difficult.
Then it would have been difficult to get back in the game.
Yeah.
But once that little bit of belief crept in, and the belief that they've had, you know, for a long time now, that we can get back in this game, and thoroughly deserve what they got. I mean, I think they shocked Man City. I think they shocked Pep Guardiola.
Well, I think they've shocked everyone, let's be honest, because we're looking at that game, and like you say, since that game, I've had so many people come up and go, wow, what a game of football that was. So for the neutral, it was an amazing game.
Who plays football and gets more possession of the ball than Man City?
Yeah.
You know, that tells you everything.
Yeah, they've had it in all 4 games, haven't they? You know, obviously closer with Liverpool and Manchester City. But I mean, Kyle Walker's well documented now, described as a game of basketball, end-to-end stuff. But I do wonder, why do teams not know that Leeds are going to play this way? They've done their research. Is it just different when you actually get to playing the game? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's hard to cope with because they've got that belief. And they'll accept balls in tight situations at the back, and all of a sudden, a couple of passes, one-touch passing, and then they're attacking teams. They're attacking their midfield, they're attacking the back 4. They've got the belief they can get out of tight situations. I mean, OK, some teams might try and push on them, you know, but I think a few sides have tried that, and they found it very, very difficult to contain them, even in our defensive third. Because that's what they're good at, getting out that defensive third and getting into the midfield.
You're right,
areas.
especially in the defensive third, because we will keep going and keep trying to play our way out. And you know we're going to do it, but try and stop it. So you're going to keep making that run. You know, Stuart Dallas, so many times, you went 1-2 and he's gone. And you're having to track back time and time again. If you're half a yard behind, too late, we're off.
The number of times, and Tony's right, Stuart Dallas got the ball, you know, in the left back, and he knocks it out wide, and all of a sudden he goes, bang, I'm away. Ball's played back into him, and he's running it there back 4. Now, if you're a forward, you're thinking, whoa, hold on, I'm going to back off here.
Forward, you're thinking, oh my God, he's gone again. I've got to chase him again.
Don't like that. Because what happens to them then, and that's how the pattern of the game is, you know, we're pushing that high up the pitch. Stuart Dallas is up there. They're having to get players back, Raheem Sterling, forward players, and they pick the ball up, and they're 70, 80 yards for your goal, you know. And that's a good thing for us. It's a lot more difficult for them, you know, to maintain, you know, like even in the first 15 minutes, as we say, they played terrific. But once we get into that rhythm, you find that De Bruyne's getting deeper, Raheem Sterling's getting deeper. They're having to sit a lot bit deeper to combat us. And I think that's a good thing for the side just now. They've got the type of players who've got that energy. And I mean, Stuart Dallas and Luke Ayling, for their fullback positions, and many times you see them in the opposition box, the dead ball line, causing problems. And that's you know, like if you're playing against a really good, you know, if Tony played at left back and he's playing a really top class outside right, the one thing in his mind is, tell you what I'm going to do, I'm going to take him that way and see if he likes it. I'm going to get up there and no let him run at me all the time. I'm going to make it difficult for him.
That's exactly
and
right.
Get balls in
That's
the
what
box.
you do. Because the last thing they want to do is go the other way. But when we've got two of them doing it all the time, every single game, I mean, it's really impressive. That's a big thing in our armour.
I played at left back at the end of my career. You know, I was coming to the end of my career. And, you know, if I was playing against an outside right, that's all I would be thinking, right, you're going to have to do some work going that way today. And then when they pick the ball up, as I say, they're picking the ball up 70, 80 yards for your goal. And it's a long way to tramp up the pitch and keep your, you know, your skills going and keep the ball going from an energy point of view. And I think that's the one thing about our players. It's the energy that they show. I mean, Stuart Dallas gets up there, you know, boom, might lose the ball. But Jack Harrison's back there. You know, when he's, you know, you never play against it, but he's back there, you know, covering them. And it's the same with Luke Ayling. He goes forward, somebody else fills in. You know, they dovetail very, very well, you know, and they probably, the two fullbacks have got into crossing positions more than the white boys this season. And actually in the box. I mean, look at Luke Ayling, he should have scored.
Yeah.
Gets into a great position. Stuart Dallas has done it this season. So they've got a freedom to play. But it's more difficult to play against than people imagine. Unless you're actually facing it and thinking, you know, you're a forward, you're thinking, if I go up there, I've got to go all the way back there, and it's a long run. You know, and forwards don't like to do that.
And I guess one player to mention as well, with Patrick Bamford having taken the headlines in those first 3 games with 3 goals, it was Rodrigo who came on and really turned things around and got off the mark, which for any new player, Tony, it's an important thing to do, isn't it?
It is. He was bought for a lot of money, a record signing, so of course you want to start very well. The first thing he did, of course, at Anfield wasn't so great, so he would have been itching to get on the score sheet. But more important than that was the way that he's played when he has come on. I think he's been superb, especially against Man City, just to find that space on the pitch. He drifts into those areas, then when he gets hold of the ball, he looks up, he can deliver that pass as well. Got an eye for goal. He's a clever player. I think the first game that he played, he got the hook after 45 minutes. It was more to do with, I think, the defensive work. Wasn't quite sure how to close down within the team. However, I think he's worked that one out. But when he goes offensively, I think he's superb. He gives us something extra. He's got that quality. He's got that eye for goal. Delighted he's got off the mark as well.
He's quick round the ball. He's a sharpness round the ball, and he gets into spaces between midfield players and defenders. And what I was pleased about when he, you know, eventually got his goal. Before that, when he ran at the defender, there's only one thing in his mind: I'm going to take you on, and I'm going to fire a shot at goal. And he did it. Led to the goal. You could see the delight in his face, as Tony mentioned. He'd be thinking, oh, the team won after what happened at Anfield. I'll just be interested now to see if Marcelo thinks he should be starting, you know, because he definitely changed the whole complex of the game against Man City. You know, it completely changed when he came on. He was bringing people into the game. He was putting them under pressure. Defenders didn't know whether to get tight with him or leave it to midfield players, and it gave us a little bit more room to play. And we exploited that as well, you know, as a unit. So he's done very well when he's come on.
It really was a fantastic game of football, which in a strange way, I don't know whether overshadowed is the right word, but with the craziness at Old Trafford with Man United and then at Villa Park with Liverpool, it was spoken about for a day and then everyone was talking about everyone else. But Tony, I asked Eddie right at the start of this, you know, 7 points from those first 4 games, that first block of games, including the 2 best teams around. How do you see that as a response to being back in the Premier League?
It's a fantastic response, and it's probably better than I thought. I thought the pressure game was the Fulham game that we had to win. That was vital. I didn't expect us to get anything at Anfield. We almost did. Going to Sheffield United, I thought that was a really professional performance, and to take 3 points is great. And a point against Man City again, after the first 15, 20 minutes, I would have snapped your hand off. So it's wonderful. I mean, just the way the team are playing, they still got that confidence. What I do like as well, they're not having to have 20, 30 chances to score 1 or 2 goals. We're actually converting them rather well. So we're showing a bit more quality at that end as well. I'd like to see it tighten up at the back. Obviously, we're shipping a few too many, but if we keep shipping a load and winning games, I think we're all going to be happy.
When you look at the defence, as you've mentioned it there, Tony, Leeds have actually faced more shots than any other team in the Premier League so far. Is that partly due to the style of play, how far they are up the pitch? Is it something more concerning, or is it just one of those things?
Well, you've got to look at it in a few different ways. Obviously, you're playing in the Premier League. You're playing against a better quality player. You got Raheem Sterling, you got Mo Salah, people like that you're playing against. All the Premier League teams carry, good firepower. They're always going to cause you problems. I mean, you look at Aston Villa, beating Liverpool 7. Nobody'd predict that. That's a Liverpool team that won the league by a distance last year, getting a thrashing. It can happen to any team, in the Premier League, because there's so much quality in the Premier League, and that's why I'm so pleased how our team have adapted. Of course, teams are going to make openings against you, but we're making as many openings as the opposition, which is good. I think we're going to see a lot of that for Leeds United this season. There's going to be games when you're going to be biting your fingernails. Are we going to get back into this game? Gee, are we going to score 4 or 5 this game? You just look at the games and you think, it's so exciting. And that's the nature of football. I mean, this is our first season back in the Premier League for a long, long time. And a lot of the players have spent their footballing days in the lower leagues. And they're coming into the Premier League and, okay, Man City, first 15 minutes, whoa, it's a bit of a shock, this. But gradually, the belief they've got in their individual ability and as a unit in the team, the way they play the game, it gradually gets them back into the game. And then their fitness at the end of games, you're thinking, well, you're getting to 85 minutes, you're thinking, we can still score here, we can still get another 1 or 2. So I think there's going to be a lot of games we're going to watch this season. It'll be like that. I mean, I just think it's exciting to watch. And I think they've done themselves proud so far in the league. A long way to go. We know that. It's going to be difficult. I mean, Tony's mentioned about, players coming in, like Rodrigo, big mistake at Liverpool, as you mentioned. And he's wanting to prove to the rest of the players that he's good enough to compete in the Premier League. And so far, what I've seen, it looks like it, Tony.
Oh, absolutely, I think it does. But I think the style that we play, that Marcelo Bielsa demands, means we are going to concede shots, aren't we? Let's be honest. We don't go out to stop the other side playing. We go out to go and attack the other side, and that's how we stop them playing, by we having the ball further up the pitch. Now, that's the way he's played. That's what we've been enjoying the last 2-3 seasons, and it's worked so far. What we do need, of course, is a bit more quality throughout the seasons that Marcelo's been here. I think we've got that now. We're getting better and better players. But it's the same style, and it's great to watch. It really
I think
is.
There's going to be a lot of that. But like Mike Tyson fighting George Foreman. You punch me, I'll punch you. We'll see who's standing at the end.
Well, that was Man City's second half, wasn't it? You hit me, I'll hit you, and we keep going that way. It was brilliant.
A sort of mutual respect and a kind of a sort of boxing analogy. I mean, one player we thought we'd pick out this week on the big match preview, Luke Ayling, who last time Leeds fans got to sort of see in the flesh was smashing in a thunderous volley and then running down the touchline, releasing his long flowing hair for everyone to see, and what a moment that was. But we talk about new players like Rodrigo. Here is a player who's been with the club for a while now and has had a great start to the season, more tackles and more dribbles in the opponent's half than anyone else, and someone who's really got into the flow of the Premier League.
I mean, we're playing well as a unit, but the two players, who are doing a lot for us going forward are Stuart Dallas and Luke Ayling, as you mentioned. Luke's getting in the box, he's getting to the dead ball line. He's causing havoc, among defenders in the Premier League. Because, I mean, you talk about attacking fullbacks in the Premier League, and you talk about them, your Kyle Walkers, your Alexanders, they get to the dead ball line, they're whipping balls across the face of the box, great. But they don't get into the box as many times as Luke Ayling, in shooting positions in front of goal. And Luke Ayling's doing that as well. They don't know whether he's going to get down the line, he's going to run inside. He should have scored against Man City. Great save for the goalkeeper. But that's the type of positions he's getting into. But the good thing about it is, when he gets in there, as soon as it breaks down, you see him herring back, running back by everybody, a bit like Stuart Dallas. And even when he gets in there, and he gets in there in the knowledge, if it does break down, other people try and get back in a defensive situation for him. So he's playing tremendous stuff. I mean, really, he's a handful. I mean, there'll be, managers before games saying to wide players and fullbacks, hey, you've got to watch this Luke Ayling coming forward. He gets into some positions you'll not believe inside the box, and he'll cause us problems.
If you look at the stats, it's actually only Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson at Liverpool who've been involved more in terms of offensively than Luke Ayling. And, Liverpool are the current champions, so you'd expect them to be bombing forward. We know what they do, but Luke Ayling's managing to replicate that for Leeds.
Yeah, and it's great to see. What I like about Luke Ayling as well, he's just an honest player, an honest lad. He's obviously started at Arsenal, went to Bristol City, he's worked his way up, he's been wanting the chance to play in the Premier League, and wow, hasn't he taken it? He just looks fantastic. Scored some important goals, of course, last season as well. The understanding he's got with Costa, and just that movement, same with Stuart Dallas and Harrison on the other side. Once they get it, bang, they set off, and away you go. And if I was a wide man playing against him, I'm thinking, oh God, I've got a hell of a day today. Because I'm going to have to keep running backwards, because Ayling's going to take me that way. I've got to make sure I try and take him the other way. So it's always a great competition, whoever he plays up against. And Sterling, first 15, 20 minutes, Sterling took him on a couple of times inside the box. And I'm thinking, okay, Luke, how are you going to respond and handle this? Wow. The next 65, 70 minutes, he was taking him back the other way. He pushed him back. He kept attacking. I thought he was fantastic. And so far, he's been tremendous.
I think the thing about it is, as Tony says, when that happens to a fullback in the early stage of the game, you usually dip. But that's where Luke has showed very, very strong mentality. No, I'm going to keep playing, and I'll make it difficult for them at the end of the game. It's that belief he's got, because, as Tony says, if you're a fullback or you're a wide player and you're getting the better of a fullback, you're thinking, oh, I'm on song. The fullback usually goes, whoa, I'm struggling here. But Luke's not doing that now. Neither Stuart Dallas, to be fair. I mean, there's times when the two of them get wide, people take them on, and you think, oh, they're in trouble. But in the next instance, they're up the other end of the park, putting them under pressure, getting balls across the box for us. And that's what worries teams, I think. I think this team are going to stop going. They're going to keep getting at us and getting at us till they break us down. And, I think the perfect example, I know we speak about Rodrigo and the penalty kick at Anfield, was Anfield. You're going to the home of the champions. They started the game well. A bit like Man City, you're thinking, oh, I'm worried. But then gradually, you could see the panic in their faces. Oh, we're going to have to get into defensive situations. This team are going to keep going. They're going to put us under pressure. And that's the one thing about Marcelo's teams. They keep going. They've got that mentality. And it's very, very strong mentality they've got in the way they play.
Let's take a look at the international fixture roundup. And when we think about internationals, for so many years it's been one of those, oh, we've got no game and there aren't that many players going out, so there's not that much interest. But suddenly, from nowhere, within the space of a few months, we've got players playing all over the continent for all different top-level international teams as well. Let's just start off with our very own Calvin Phillips. Really now making an impact for England. He said himself in one of his interviews, if you would have said to him a year ago he'd be starting for England, he might not have believed you, but here he is, and really a part of Gareth Southgate's plans, it looks like.
Oh, absolutely right, and so he should be. I think he's just a quality player. That position that he plays is so vital as well. What I like about Calvin, it's his attitude, his demeanour, but when he goes with England as well, he just thoroughly enjoys it, and that's what it's all about. Playing for your country is an amazing accolade, but he's down there, he's having great fun. We see pictures of him with Grealish, mucking about in training and what have you, so he's taken it like a duck to water, which is great. I thought the first game, how Southgate played him, made it very difficult for him to shine, yet I still think he did well with a really bad structure around him. Hasn't really improved so much, but I must say his performance have, so I think he's done really well. Now, with that run of games that he's had now, the 3 caps, I think he can go on and get a lot more.
I think it's a bit like when Marcelo Bielsa came to the club at first. Calvin's thinking, oh, I'm playing in this position. He sees me sitting there, maybe even dropping into a back 3 at times, But once you go over that initial, whoa, is this me? Is this how I play? And I think it's exactly the same with England setup. He thinks now, I think you could tell the other night, or last night, that he thinks he's part of that setup now. He's not going down there thinking, oh, I'm playing with all these big names, the Sterlings, the Harry Kanes, this is the people he's mixing with now, and I think he'll get stronger and stronger like he has at our club, and playing for our club. Now, we know he's one of the main players for our club. If you look at the team sheet and you're away from home on a Saturday, or even at home, and he's not on the team sheet, you'd be thinking, could be a little bit difficult today without him there. He dictates things there. He's a great range of passing. I still think he's got to show that for England yet. He's great range of passing. You know, he can ping it 40, 50 yards, hit balls into people crisply for the midfield area, front boys, 20-yard passes. And I think he's improved tremendously. And it's the same for a lot of the players that are in international duty.
And when we talk about internationals, you've got that dual feeling. There's a feeling of pride on the one hand, and then there's the other feeling of don't come back injured, which is the other one, isn't it? And you see all the players go off, and suddenly for the first time, Leeds fans are all looking, oh, I don't want any injuries. And of course, a couple of injuries were picked up knocks. It's going to happen with Llorente and Liam Cooper as well, which is, of course, the reason why they recruited in the summer, why they brought players into the squad to have cover in these positions.
It is, and we bought a couple of centre-halves and now two of them are injured. So how's our luck, by the way? Look at the Anfield game against Liverpool. What did we do? A new signing, Koch, went straight in, and Strauch, played alongside him. I thought did really well. So I'd be loath to change anything from that sort of situation. In that we're talking about Ayling coming to centre-half. I just think Ayling is so effective on that right-hand side. He needs to stay there. So you can see Strauch coming in, but. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but injuries are part and parcel. That's why we need, that sort of quality and depth of squad.
Yeah, when they come up for international duty, obviously the first thing the club do, they've got to assess them. How seriously are they injured? We don't know. Maybe nothing. They might be able to go out and train, but they could break down in training, or they could be okay. I think that's something that we just have to wait and see. But I don't think we'll get to know the full extent of the injuries before the Wolverhampton game. They might not even let you know. Marcelo usually pretty honest like that. But it might be one of them, a couple of days rest, it might recover. We'll just have to wait and see. But I must say, talking about international breaks, it was a good international break for Scotland.
Oh, I knew you'd say that.
I was quite happy with it.
One game away, aren't they? So Liam will hopefully be back for that one. Definitely. So the international break, it means we're back focused where we really want to be focused. And that's on the Premier League and Wolves. So they've had a bit of a mixed start really to the season. They've done okay. The two teams they've beaten, you'd probably expect them to beat, and then they've had a couple of defeats, Man City, and then also the West Ham one, which kind of came from nowhere, where they lost, was it 4-0 as well. So, how do we assess their start to the season? How do you see this one shaping up, Eddie?
Well, we spoke before about, playing against sides, and when Wolverhampton played against West Ham were on fire. That can happen. The boy Bowen was tremendous. They've got players on the day, West Ham, that could hurt anybody. They've proved that. So, when actually look at the Wolverhampton game, the results have been mixed, but they've proved themselves top side in the Premier League. They're a useful side. The centre forward is as good as any centre forward playing. We're talking about Calvin Phillips getting into the England team, the boy Cody at the back. He's playing as if he's been there for 10 years. So they'll come here in a good frame of mind. They'll know it's going to be a difficult game. Our boys coming back, if they're ready to play, they'll be really looking forward to it. And it could be one of their games again, end-to-end stuff.
It's going to be, isn't it? Well, let's hope so. I think Wolves, they're very similar to us. I think they're just 2 years in advance of us. Of course, 3 years ago, bought by the Chinese. Then they got rid of their manager and brought in someone in Nuno from Portugal that was different, not really heard of. And they start bringing out this new style. They put money into the club and they got promotion and away they go. But they built and built and built into a solid Premier League side now. And with this three at the back, how they play is also interesting. They've got really quality players, Moutinho and Neves in midfield, Jimenez up top. There's a nice blend about them. Traore as well is a handful when he's on song. And Cody. So there's plenty there to I think give Wolves so much hope. Europa League last season as well. It's a club on the up, so it's really good to see. But I think that's kind of our model, and we are aiming for that sort of thing. So it's going to be a tough game, absolutely.
I think the interesting thing is the two managers, because they're quite similar in a way of how they approach the game. They've got their belief how the team should play, and Wolves are a bit like us like that. They don't change it. They'll go out and play the game that they think is going to get them results, and they've been very successful the last couple of seasons, as Tony says. So it'll be a tough game for us. And like, you know, when people say, how do you think the game will go on Monday night? You know, like, I'm not sure. you know, I couldn't actually sit here and say, oh yeah, I definitely think we'll win the game. I think we'll have a great opportunity to win the game. But knowing how Wolverhampton play and what they're capable of, they'll be coming here pretty confident in themselves. And I think, like a lot of the Leeds United games we go to this season, we'll get there and we'll just need to see how the game unfolds and what happens on the night.
What I think, it'll be entertaining. That's the only thing that I know. It'll be entertaining. Don't blink, because you might miss something. It's going to be entertaining.
It's interesting what you say about the parallels between the clubs. They're a few years ahead of us. I specifically remember, and a lot of Leeds United fans will, sat at Elland Road the year that Wolves got promoted, and they came here and they played us off the park. I mean, they were fantastic. They were probably the best football playing team before Leeds to get promoted from the Sky Bet Championship. So there really are similarities there, and we seem to be going down that kind of route.
Yeah, but when you actually look at the two managers, you know, and even to an extent, you know, they're quite similar on the touchline, the way they behave, you know. They go on to people, they're shouting at people on the park, he's telling people to play all the time. You know, it's the same as Marcelo, you know, so that makes it interesting as well. It'll be quite interesting to see how the two of them react to each other on the touchline as well. Probably as interesting as the game, you know. But the game, as Tony says, should be entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to ask you a question now, which as ex-professional football players will really annoy you, because you're always a one game at a time. That's how players look at it, I know. But fans look at it a bit further ahead, don't they? And we've had that first block of 4. Now there's another block of 4. Wolves, Villa, Palace and Leicester. None of the teams in there are a Man City or a Liverpool, and it's a block of 4. So if we were to look slightly ahead to that section, and then, you know, after 8 games of a season, you start to get a slightly better lay of the land of how things are looking. There's an opportunity perhaps there to see exactly an indication of what Leeds are going to do this season.
The only thing I'll say to you to answer that question is, if we do as well in the next 4 games as we did in the last 4 games, we'll be in the Premier League next year.
Okay, well, that's about as good an answer as you can hope for. And we'll revisit that quote in 4 games' time, Eddie, and see what it looks like. So there you go, 4 games, of course 2 coming up in a week as well, with the Monday and the Friday game against Villa. So it's almost like a championship kind of feel when you'd have a weekend midweek game.
Yeah, you've got to be careful about, you know, choosing those teams that we're playing against and saying, are they any weaker than the first 4 that we've played in? Every single game is going to be difficult. You mentioned West Ham playing Wolves and beating them 4-0. Well, who saw that one coming? But they can produce it. Villa, 7 against Liverpool. So whoever it is, you know it's going to be tough. But I think it's more about us, and I think if we keep that same level of performance up and application, then we will do well. Doesn't matter who we're playing, but that's the best you're getting out of me.
All right, fine.
I've just got to say that regardless of who we're playing, you know, at the present time, the way we're playing, I think we have an opportunity to win every game we play. It could also go the other way, but the opportunity will be there for us.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to return to the company line now and toe the line by saying it's 1 game at a time, of course. And the next one is Wolves here Monday night at Elland Road. Tony will be giving you co-coms, of course, from the gantry. Eddie, thank you as always for your company today. And yeah, enjoy the match Monday night. It's another big one, and it's coming up for you on LUTV.
So these two teams meet for the first time since 2004. Leeds United actually have an excellent record against Manchester City at Elland Road. Played 5 times, won 5 times, but will they be able to do the same here this afternoon? It looks a really daunting task. Leeds United have made changes. Alioski comes into the side because Jack Harrison misses out due to him being on loan from Manchester City. And the other news regarding the starting 11 is that Tyler Roberts is in from the off. That means Rodrigo is on the bench. Llorente also amongst the replacements. A couple of changes in the Manchester City side. The big news there is that their big signing came into the club in the aftermath of the heavy defeat by Leicester City. Diaz gets his first start for the club at Elland Road this evening. Gives the signal and ready to swing the ball. He swings it goalwards and he hits the post. And Meslier is so relieved to see that free kick come back off the post there, because he was beaten all ends up.
Absolutely brilliant from De Bruyne. Just incredible. Meslier, he's probably just, 2 or 3, or a yard actually to the left more than he should. De Bruyne spots it and from fully 35 yards out, just whips to the near post. It's a fantastic effort. Melia was not getting there.
He just clips it onto Torres, now through the middle for Foden. Foden will carry up towards the edge of the Leeds penalty area. Now Sterling, left side of the box, into the box. Held up by Ayling, he's gone round Ayling, he cuts the ball back, it must be a finish here for 1-0. No, it's blocked on the line by Dallas, fantastic clearance, and Stuart Dallas has made the intervention that keeps the scoreline there at 0-0.
What a block that is by Stuart Dallas, because you said about Ayling trying to hold up Sterling. Well, he doesn't. Sterling just drifts past him. He goes one way, then the other. Difficult, of course, to get a challenge in, but it's great work from Sterling. He pulls it back, and you think, OK, unfortunately, this is going to be the first goal. Dallas in the way. Brilliant.
As Mendy attacks and tries to play a ball through the middle, Cooper can just stab it into the path of Torres. Now on the edge of the penalty area, and into the penalty area Sterling. Sterling opens up and he drives a shot and he scores the goal. And the goal that Manchester City have been threatening almost since the off here has arrived, and Raheem Sterling curls the shot beyond the dive of Meslier, and the away side are in front.
Deservedly so. They have certainly been the better side, but really is a poor goal. It goes straight to Mendy, who just takes off again. Costa makes the challenge but doesn't get there. And Coops, unfortunately, that's a poor defensive pass, and once it gets to Sterling again, just cuts inside, goes about 1 and 2 and slots it into the corner. It is a really good finish, but we don't get anywhere near him. We buy both dummies and a good finish.
And that's Leeds maybe ultimately paying the price for conceding possession on 2 occasions in the build-up to the goal there. When the ball came out the penalty area from Meslier, up in the Manchester City half, turns inside of Sterling, keeps going Cleek, up to the edge of the penalty area. Here's Patrick Bamford just outside the D, tees up for Tyler Roberts. Tyler Roberts into Stuart Dallas, and Dallas sees his effort on goal, saved by Edison, who was the last line of defence for Manchester City, and that was a terrific chance created by Leeds United.
Fantastic move, it really is. Bamford on the edge of the box, and Tyler Roberts just clips it around to the ever-willing Stuart Dallas, and it was a second touch. He couldn't actually get it out of his feet to shoot. He took 1 touch, 2 touch, and then Edison out so quickly.
Yeah, Rodrigo shrugs off Costa off the ball, and they have it on the edge and into the penalty area, and Dallas on the far side. A shot comes in goalwards, and it flashes just over the crossbar from Foden there, and Phil Foden goes pretty close indeed to a second Manchester City goal.
Well, that's a great effort. He's on the right hand side this time, of course, very much left-footed, just drifts inside in between 2 players. I was waiting for that one to nestle.
Cooper plays the ball out towards the oncoming Ayling. Ayling's got inside of Mendy. Mendy's made a terrible error. Luke Ayling! Oh my goodness me, what a save that is from Edison. Luke Ayling had done everything right, and he'd got himself clean through on goal, and the keeper kept the shot out. That was the moment.
What an opportunity. That was fantastic play, wasn't it, from Luke Ayling? He got down that right hand side, and it's Mendy who doesn't really make it. Well, he makes a mess, doesn't he? Simple as that. Doesn't deal with that at all. And there, look how quick it comes out. Edison closes the angle down. Unfortunately for Luke Ayling, he can't quite slot it away. Really good save, but that was a chance.
Poveda maybe really fired up to do well here. Great ball in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and Bamford as well. Well, that's some way to introduce yourself to the game from Poveda.
What a brilliant start, my goodness, knocking the ball around really well. Poveda gets it on the right-hand side and then just skips past Sterling and then just attacks Mendy. That's what he needs to do. Of course, Mendy on a yellow card doesn't get close. When the ball comes across, Bamford across that near post.
And Rodrigo comes on to replace Roberts, so 20 on, 11 off. Tyler Roberts heads towards the dugout down below us. Ball is won by Helder Costa off a loose header. Lovely back heel. Now Cleek has run wide. Left side is Rodrigo. Rodrigo's just outside the penalty area. He's into the penalty area. Rodrigo, step over. Can he get a shot in? Yes, he can! And Edison with a fine save to push that one over the crossbar, because that was right up in the top corner.
What a fantastic effort. Poor header initially from Diaz, and a great back heel. Once Click gets the ball, he plays the right ball out to the left-hand side. I thought he might cross it here. Instead, he just drives into the box, wants half a yard, and it is a brilliant stop. I think it deflected off the defender, then onto the bar.
So corner kick taken by Phillips. Edison comes and flaps, and it's in! It's a goal for Leeds United, and Rodrigo scores his first goal for his new club. Error by the goalkeeper, and the Spanish international pounced and drove the ball in from close range, and Leeds are level with Manchester City, 1-1.
What a substitution that is. Rodrigo's come on and already he's had one fantastic run down this left-hand side. Guardiola looks on, he'll be absolutely livid. A good corner in, but the keeper here, he comes, he doesn't, it's an awful punch. And this time it comes off Mendy, and Rodrigo, he's the one alive and alert, just tucks it away to an empty net. Brilliant.
And look at his face in celebration there, just look at his face. How happy is Rodrigo to get off the mark for Leeds United, the record signing. Just outside the Manchester City box, further out to Dallas. Dallas chips it up for Cleek. Cleek lays it off to Calvin Phillips. This is great football. Phillips curls a shot in, and Edison's right behind it with two hands to clutch that one out the air and hold on. And then immediately Leeds have to get back because Manchester City counter-attack. Leeds are 4 behind the ball, but City have 5 streaking forward here, spread across the pitch, right up to the edge of the penalty area it goes now. De Bruyne on the edge of the box, low drive, goes across the face of goal and goes wide and goes behind for a goal.
This is some game, it really is. It's one end. I tell you what, you have a go, then we'll have a go, then you have a go. You just got to be so careful and concentrate. When you do attack, you overcommit. They're so quick at coming forward, and then De Bruyne, it's a brilliant ball in. Fortunately, no one was tracking at the back post.
Foden in front, now gives it to Cleek. Luke Ayling down the right-hand touchline on the overlap, gets the ball into the Manchester City penalty area. Bamford goes, Rodrigo! Oh, what a save that is! What a stop that is from Edison, because that was going up into the top corner of the net, and the goalkeeper tips it onto the bar and over the top.
What a save that is. It's fantastic, because actually he touches off Bamford initially, and then when Rodrigo just lets it hit his head, it's in the top corner, and somehow Edison has plucked it out. There's no way you can stop that, but he has.
Leeds have got to be alert at the other end, and Sterling's got away from Koch, and it's 1v1 as Sterling into the penalty area. Meslier goes down. Meslier's got his hands on the ball. Oh, that's brilliant from the Leeds keeper there. He just timed his flop to the floor as Sterling tried to run almost through him, and Meslier gratefully put 2 big hands on top of the ball.
Well, again, the last thing you want is Sterling on the halfway line running full pelt at you.
Final minute of added time. It's a Manchester City free kick. It's just in from the near side touchline, right in front of Marcelo Bielsa on the edge of the technical area. De Bruyne into the edge of the penalty area. Heads go in, and it goes towards his own goal off the head of Patrick Bamford, and Meslier at full stretch.
Oh, I've seen everything. This is just ridiculous. It was Bamford that threw himself at the ball.
As the whistle goes, Leeds United claim a point, and what a big point that could prove to be. Marcelo Bielsa almost sinks to the turf, looks down at the ground, but he will know, Marcelo Bielsa, that that is as good a performance as his Leeds United side have put in the entire time he's been in charge of this football club. And he and Pep Guardiola exchange words and exchange a hug, and it's all beautiful, and football can be a fantastic game, and we have seen every evidence of that in this match here at Ellen Road this evening.
The beautiful game, we have just seen it. A great response as well from the 2 managers, and so much respect between them. But I tell you what, I have got to commend our boys. What a fantastic response it was. For 20-25 minutes, they got a chasing. It's as simple as that. They weren't in the game. To turn it around like they did, they caused Man City so many problems. They scored 1. We could have had 1 or 2 more. Then they had to see it out physically. You could see they were giving absolutely everything, but it's a brilliant game. We've gone up against a fantastic side there, and we matched them, and we could have almost nicked it as well. It's a brilliant performance.
Marcelo, what is your assessment of that game?
¿Qué piensa él sobre este partido?
Partido muy difícil.
A very difficult game.
El principio y el final del partido fue del City.
The beginning of the game and the end of the game was all City.
Y el final del primer tiempo y el comienzo del segundo fue nuestro.
And the end of the first half and the beginning of the first half was us.
Para nosotros equilibrar el partido nos pone a nuestro límite.
For us to be on equal terms, it put us to our limit.
How much in that first period of the game, when they were dominant, was it about staying in the game, hanging on in there?
¿Qué tanto el comienzo del partido fue de mantenerse en el partido?
No. comienzo del partido no se la podíamos quitar y ellos nos la quitaban a nosotros con facilidad.
At the beginning of the game, we couldn't take the ball off them, and they took it off us very easily.
Tell us about the substitution you made at half-time and what your thinking was.
Que cuéntanos sobre la sustitución que hiciste a mitad de tiempo y cuál era su pensamiento.
Bueno, quise el juego por los costados, era muy difícil y quise probar con Pódea por la derecha y Elder por la izquierda.
The game on the wings was a tough one, and I wanted to put Poveda on the right hand side and Helder on the left and see how we did there.
It was a lovely moment at the end when you were talking to Pep Guardiola. Was that a moment of respect between two coaches who've just seen out a fantastic contest?
Que fue un momento muy lindo al final cuando terminó el partido con Pep, que sí, ese era un momento de dos técnicos que se respetan después de haber un partido tan hermoso.
Fue un partido donde los dos equipos trataron de ganar y esa fue la conclusión que deja el partido.
It was a game where both teams tried to win, and that's the conclusion that the game left.
Was it one of those games where neither side deserved to lose?
Que si era uno de esos partidos que ninguno de los dos equipos merecía perder.
No sabría decir.
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Pudimos perderlo y pudimos ganarlo.
We could have lost it, and we also could have won it.
Hard work, to be fair. We know they're a very good offensive team, but we knew that they had weaknesses defensively, and I think the second half we came out on top a little bit and then had a few chances, which you don't really get often when you're playing good teams like that. But we're just happy to get a point, really happy to get a point on the board and contest against a really good side.
First 20, they seemed to be very much on top, and in particular, they screened you out of the game.
Yeah, to be fair, a lot of the play goes through me. But I think they just set up to do that and try and catch me out, and they did in the first half. And I knew I had to change my game up, try and get on the ball in different ways. And second half, I thought the other midfielders did that well as well.
What did you change as a team to get yourself back into it?
I think we gave them a little bit too much respect in the first 20. I think we won the ball back a couple of times in the first half, and we thought we could have a go at these. And we came out second half. And we made a couple of tackles and counter-attacks, and I thought we did well.
Although you say, it's good to get a point, how much was there a sense of neither team was settling for a point? It was go for it.
Yeah, I think, Man City are always going to come here and want to win, and we don't want to lose. So, we're a team that's very attacking, and so are they. So it was just end-to-end stuff, and, it was hard work at times, but, I thought we did well as a team.
Well, Jan, just a point, home draw. Disappointed?
Mixed feelings, to be fair, mixed feelings. I mean, it was a good game, tough game. The lads were excellent. We gave our all on the pitch and we came away with a point, so it's all right,
I was joking, basically. I mean, it was a fantastic game to watch. Did you feel like being out there as well?
Yeah, I'm really happy to be out there. I feel like my hard work finally paying off, but I feel like I've got to keep pushing. There's a lot more to give, so yeah.
What was the instruction when you came on at half-time?
The instruction was to scout my player, make runs in behind, bring energy onto the pitch, make movements, all-time link, and just, be confident. That's what the gaffer told me.
Did it make any difference given it was your old club?
I don't know. To be fair, I'm looking at every game as the same. Like, I'm hungry in each game, but maybe this game had a bit more edge. I was just like, maybe, but I don't know.
I mean, it looked like it was tremendously hard work out there. The players looked really tired by the end.
Yeah, it was a lot of hard work. We really gave our all. It was a good shift from the lads. Excellent.
Is it important to take points off a side like Manchester City in terms of where you want to go this season, and you're thinking about what you can do this season?
Yeah, I mean, for us, there's no limit to what we can achieve. We're looking at every game as they come, and we're trying to aim for the 3 points. We didn't come here to draw. So, I mean, it's obviously good because Man City are a great side, fantastic, one of the best teams in the world. So to get a point off them is amazing. But we're looking at every game to try and win it,
So break coming up for the international matches, 7 points on the board. Are you pleased with that?
Yeah, it's not too bad, to be fair. It's not too bad. Yeah, I feel like international break, just got to get our heads down, recover a bit and come back with a fresh start and a bang.
The goal for Leeds United, and Rodrigo scores his first goal for his new club.
Well, the rain might still be falling inside Ellen Road, but there's nothing dampening the spirits of Leeds United supporters after a 1-1 draw against Manchester City, and quite simply a breathless game of football. Leeds continue to make their mark in their return to the top flight. Just a few games in, and another point proven and a point taken this evening. Alongside us is Ben Parker and Tony Rodrigo to reflect on the game. Tony, we'll begin with yourself. How would you sum up that game of football then?
Easy one to start with, isn't it? For goodness sake, breathless. It was fantastic. What a wonderful game of football. End-to-end stuff. When you're looking at a style of football that Marcelo Bielsa plays, then you match it with Pep Guardiola. You have the two similar styles. You end up with an amazing game of football, and that's exactly what we saw. It was quality. There was so much ability out there on the pitch, but then determination. And it didn't go sideways. It kept going forward, or it went back. And physically, that is so demanding. Mentally, it's difficult. And we got a chasing, let's be honest, for the first 20, 25 minutes. But then to come back from that and play like we did, I thought was magnificent. It was a wonderful spectacle. And unfortunately, we are going to be on TV all the time to watch something like that because we play wonderfully well.
Yeah, I think we heard Gary Neville on Sky TV, Ben, describe it as Rocky Balboa versus Apollo Creed, and it felt like that. So as the game went on, it opened up even more, didn't it?
Wow, that second half performance, just echoing what you were saying there, Tony, for us to respond after the first 20-25 minutes, even the first 3 minutes when Kevin De Bruyne just whips that free kick off the post, you're thinking, yeah, they're up for it today at Manchester City. Get the goal ahead of Sterling, and I start to panic a little bit, but we calmed down, we settled, we grew into the first half, played a bit of football. The chance right at the end with Luke Ayling in the first half, I think that gave us belief going into the second half. A couple of changes, Pervada at half-time. I thought he had an excellent second half, but then Rodrigo, I think he showed all his quality, what he's all about. But coming away from the game, 1-1, a point, should you be happy? In the grand scheme of things, yes. It could have been 3 points.
Well, the chances were there, weren't they, Tony? I mean, that's the thing. Rodrigo came on and made his impact, but as Ben mentioned there, when you look back at the first half highlights, City obviously started extremely well, but we kind of clawed our way back into the match, didn't we, with some real quality? Yeah, but the first 25 minutes, let's be honest, it was all Manchester City, and they were making it difficult for us. The high press, we couldn't really get out. They set traps for us, and we kept losing the ball. It was difficult. They have quality players, and De Bruyne, you're right, that free kick early on, I'm thinking, oh my God, how's he seen that? Sterling, every time he's getting it, he's just taking people on. Mahrez looked alive. Ferran Torres looked wonderful. It went on and on. I'm thinking, this is going to be tough. But the boys hung in there. When they started to play a little bit, we carved them open as well. And I think that was the realisation to think, you know what, we can do this. Yes, you showed other teams respect. I think we showed them too much respect. Man City are a wonderfully talented side, and if you counted up all the money that each player cost, you'd be worried. But football's not played like that. You go up against them and do what you can. And I thought we grew into the game. Chance after chance then came, and then all of a sudden, second half, I think it was a different game. I thought we were magnificent. The changes were important. Pervada, I've not seen him play like that. I haven't seen much of him anyway. But to play like that was superb. And Rodrigo just drifts into those spaces, and when he gets it, he turns and finds that ball as well. So we looked great, but we kept going forward. And the one I think said in commentary was, concentrate when you go forward. And every time we lost it, they were straight back at it, and it just kept going. I'm thinking, this is ridiculous. It's a bonkum game, but one of the best games I've seen for a long, long time. It's very hard to pick out sort of individuals in this Leeds team because we could go through everybody. But you mentioned Rodrigo there, Tony. What did he do in particular that helped kind of turn the game even more in our favour in that second half? What he's very good at is drifting into space and finding space. And good players always have more time and space than anyone else. And that's what I thought he did. But when you get into the space, what can you do with it? Find that pass. And every time he did, he dropped the shoulder, found himself a half a yard, and then kept playing the right ball. But then once he's played it, he doesn't admire his pass. He was into another position to try and get it back again. So he's growing all the time. He looks quality. You can tell he looks quality. First game that he played, the first 45 minutes, where he couldn't work out when to press and when not to. I think he's worked on that. Marcelo would have got him sorted. But what we have got then is offensively something very, very different. So if Pablo doesn't play, I think he's the one that then can create for us in that last third. And it's a demonstration not only of where we are, how we performed in the Premier League, Ben, but the kind of standards Marcelo Bielsa has set, that the players, I just got a feeling we're a touch disappointed to only take a point given the chances they created tonight.
It's the winning mentality that's been built in 2 years. It doesn't happen overnight, does it? But the key word we mentioned a lot in the studio, we keep hearing as well, Tony, belief. And you've seen the belief as the game developed. Mentioned about the first half performance, but the second half, as we kept on going into the latter stages, yeah, he was end to end. It wasn't good for anyone's health, but the belief that we're going to go win the game, and it's not like we're playing a bottom kind of side where they're scrapping around for relegation. One of the best teams in Europe, by the way, we just played here, and to get 7 points out of the 4 games, wow, what a start to the Premier League.
I was going to get your thoughts on that. The start, 7 points, Tony. We played, by last season's league table, the best 2 teams by some distance. We played the Sheffield United side who were flying last year. How do you assess that start? Ahead of schedule?
Yeah, we're way ahead. I'm looking at the first 4. I'm thinking if we get 4 points, get something on the board. Fulham was hugely important. Nick a draw at Sheffield United, and the other 2, I'm thinking, well, let's see how we go. We've done magnificent. We've done really well. Now we have a stretch of games. It's important to follow it up as well. Don't think, right, we've played those 2 very good sides. To drop that performance now is a big no-no. We're not going to do that because Marcelo Bielsa demands us to play in a certain way. But it's important that every single game is played like that. Can we keep it up? I don't know. We did last season somehow. We play every weekend, don't we, rather than a lot of midweek games as well. So for the next, certainly up to Christmas or so, I mean, we're looking good. And now, if we can collect a few more points on the way, we're looking upwards rather than downwards, which is hugely important.
Yeah, because Ben, this isn't a team that just pick it up because it was Man City or because we're going to Anfield. They play the same way against Fulham, same way against Sheffield United, that determination to win. So the occasion doesn't matter to these players, does it?
No, it doesn't. And key point you made there, Tony, about no midweek games till December, and the rest is vital. You've seen Mateus Klick coming off there, didn't you?
You said rest. I'm not sure Marcelo will say rest if
well,
more work.
With Mateus Klick, they have the rest at international football, so they have got a bit of a rest.
They can switch
now.
off mentally just as slight, which it should be the other way around, really.
It should be, but you see the players running the blood to water. Stuart Dallas yet again, every blade of grass he covered. But the quality that they do it as well, it's all good. You're seeing players running all over like the Red Arrows, but to have the quality in the final third, picking the right pass, picking the right opportunity to play out from the back, and again against world-class players, we're doing that against today. So look, it's great that we're doing it, but you're right, game after game after game, but the rest is vital, and we're getting that so far. You're getting the rewards by the performance we're seeing.
Feet on the ground though, Tony, isn't it? I mean, the Premier League are delighted we're back, not only because of the size of this club, the stature of it, but the quality that we've shown.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the style that we play. Who want to watch us? Who in the world does not want to watch that type of football? I'd pay to actually come and watch that. I mean, it is that good. I think what we have to be careful of as well now is to try and maintain that level. That's important. We still need 1 or 2 more signings. If we lose key men, will that then hinder us? So we've just got to be a little bit careful. But one player in particular for me, I think I'd like to mention, that's Robin Koch. Again, he's growing every single game. I thought he was outstanding once again. He's the rock, at central defence again. And Calvin, as the game wore on, some important interceptions again. I just think all round, everyone, Bamford up top. I could keep going, couldn't I? Every single player was magnificent, but I loved it. And I watched the sideline as well, and I really liked as well after the game that Marcelo and Pep, that communication between them, that respect. And for us to have that, I come here 2 or 3 years ago and I'm thinking, we're going nowhere fast, and now look where we are. So what a fantastic change it's been. And to have that respect by a world-class manager and that team, getting a draw, we're back. But you know what? We want to stay there.
That's what it's all about. Because I think Pep was asked after the game, what did Marcelo say to you? He said, well, he asked me what his thoughts on the game were. He said, I can't, you've given me 5 seconds to sort of compute what was an unbelievable game of football, wasn't it? The only disappointment and frustration now is we've got to wait a couple of weeks for the Premier League to resume, but plenty on LUTV between now and then against Wolves. My thanks to Tony and Ben for joining us on Extra Time, and of course plenty of reaction, all the action from Leeds United 1, Manchester City 1 available on LUTV now.
Marching on together. We are Premier League. Be ready for Leeds. Join the journey. Welcome, JD.
Well, it was a different game back then. The question is, Tim, are Leeds ready to return? Has it been too long?
So Leeds How's your football team doing?
The big leagues aren't ready for Leeds, man. They aren't ready for Leeds, man.
Well, here I am at Ellen Road as they get ready to welcome back top-flight football for the first time in 16 years.
Well, here we go then.
Leeds United is about more than football. It's about the culture. It's about loyalty. It's like the song says, it stays with you forever. The pride in pulling on that jersey, playing for the city and its people. That's why I always tell off my second home, Leeds United!
Triggers! Oh! Wrap round it! Good! You ready? Hold it. Trigger! What's the trigger? Hold! Hold! What's the trigger? Hold! Reactions! Wrap round! Good boy! You ready? There's the hook!
Yeah, yeah. All right, mate. Good luck.
What a warm welcome along then to LUTV's coverage of this PL2 Division 2 clash against Reading's under-23s. Only great conditions for Leeds in their new away strip to get underway. We'll run you through the two teams very quickly before I bring Ben in alongside me. So Reading's team is Jocko Landerson, Imari Samuels, Ethan Bristow, Oliver Pendlebury, Tenor Watson, Nelson Abbey, Femi Aziz, Ryan East, Sam Smith, Jaden Owen and Connor Lawless. The bench for Reading is Nahum Melvin Lambert, James Holdham, Jeriel Dorset, Jordan Hamilton and Josh Hewitt. For the Whites today, it is another new look team as the changes from Matt Jackson keep coming. It's Elia Capril in goal, Cody Drame, Niall Huggins, Jeremiah Mullen, Charlie Cresswell, Chris Moore, Max Dean. Young Charlie Allen has got another start as well. Max McMillan, Joe Gelhart and Stuart McKinstry. And just the three subs today, Danny van der Heuvel, Ollie Casey and Josh Galloway. So in terms of the division, Reading sit 9th in PL2. They've got 4 points from their first 4 matches. They lost their opening 2 before a win over Aston Villa and a draw against West Brom. The Whites, as we know, started with a defeat to Stoke, then drew against Wolves, but it's back-to-back victories for Leeds, and they now sit 3rd in the table on 7 points. As was released earlier today, no Sam Greenwood for the next few weeks after he picked up an injury on England duty. But Ben, I guess with so many games coming thick and fast, it is a real chance for the next man up to try and step up and fill the void, and it'll be a big void to fill with the scoring record that Greenwood's had.
Yeah, it will be, Tom. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everybody else as well tuning in. And it's all about taking the opportunity when you get given a shirt. As you mentioned, quite a few changes. A really youthful look to the under-23s team today, but that's what you play the football for. That's why you train day in, day out. Want to try and give it an opportunity. And then it's over to the players. Can you grasp it? Still got a bit of experience there. Charlie Cresswell, Cody Drame, Joe Gelhart as well. So that's kind of your spine of your team. But the young players around it, go impress yourself. Max Dean, he got the 2 goals for the under-21s up at Barrow in the EFL Trophy. He's got his first start with the under-23s. So players like that, go grasp the opportunity, go enjoy yourself. As you mentioned, it's great conditions to go play, and can we go build on it? Yeah, it's a chance for, as Ben said, a couple of players to really impress, and let's hope they can do that. So again, that rather dashing away kit certainly growing on me as he's ready. The Leeds are ready to go, and Reading will be hoping to make life difficult, and fingers crossed Leeds can ride the storm. Joe Gelhart, one of 2 players ready and waiting for this pass. The referee just completes his final checks. Not sure I've ever seen checks take this long, Ben. And off we go. Yeah, Max McMillan, the player for Leeds, getting this game underway, and here's Jeremiah Mullen at centre half. So we expect a back 3 today. That, of course, it could switch around. There's normally the number 4 sitting in front of the back 4 and protecting them, but for now Mullen, who was donning that shirt today, is playing left centre half. Now Huggins, who started that season superbly well, was a player that really impressed the first couple of weeks in the 23s campaign. It was Wolves at Thorpe Arch where he really stood out. He's got the job down the left-hand side. So it is Charlie Allen with the high press through midfield, and Leeds try to force the press, force the mistake. They've managed to concede a throw in here though. Millen up front on his own for now. Reading will win a free kick. Charlie Cresswell, who was another player that was representing his country over the international break, the man that's given the free kick away. And there's some big bodies for Reading coming forward. Big early test this. Millen and Huggins, the 2 that are in the wall.
Leeds now peels away just to watch this Reading player on the edge of the box. Scooped away scrappily by Max Dean, who really impressed myself and Ben in the EFL Trophy game against Barrow. None of the under-18s, Jeremiah Mullen wins the ball back, and he was one of the shining lights in that with a humbling defeat to Accrington, but men against boys, and he really stood up that night and made a number of clearances as Cresswell goes across towards Chris Moore. Got a drama forward, McMillan with the touch. It's a bit wayward though, and he was looking for Dean. Your thoughts, Ben, on this formation early doors, couple of minutes in?
Just seems a bit of a frantic start from both teams. No one's really got a foothold of the game. Reading a bit of ascendancy, but you always find that, especially from our point of view, a few changes, few young players coming in, switching from the 4 at the back where we've played the last couple of games to a 3. Yeah, they do work on it, but it does take a bit of time just to adjust.
Coming forward out of centre-back, trying to force the mistake out of their Reading number 10, which is Jaden Onen. Out to the left-hand side, good block from Dean. Now can he go back and retrieve it? He tries. As Conor Lawless flicked the ball up in the air and away for a Leeds throw, which Kodadrami will try and take. He's got Charlie Allen, the summer recruit, in midfield. Allen's going to try and pick up the pieces here and knock the ball back, which he does nice and comfortably. More with the ball forward. That pass intercepted by Allen again. He can't get the ball out from underneath his feet, and Reading win the ball back. And number 9, Sam Smith, is a big man, a big frame. He'll try and put himself about. I'm sure Charlie Cresswell will volunteer to mark him as Dean comes forward. It's into Joe Gallagher. He rides the challenge, or at least tries to, and he's upended, and he will win a free kick. It's a similar pattern we've seen so far for Joe Gallagher's Leeds United career. Just popping up into space at the right time, and these midfielders are already aware of his talent. He's played, of course, first team football, so they're clipping him nice and early. Graham going to the right hand side, offering a different angle for McKinstry. His ball in isn't the best. Allen back to McKinstry, whose first touch takes him away from his marker. Fitches the ball to Dean. It is good one-touch football from Leeds. Now fitches the ball to Dean. It is good one-touch football from Leeds. Now in towards Gallagher, who flicks it to McKinstry. Another back heel from Dean. It was all a bit fancy. Ben used the word frantic a few seconds ago, and Dean flies in. Tries to win a corner for Leeds. And Reading do really well to keep that ball in. Up front to Smith, who just tries to cushion it back to her teammates. Leeds now have to try and watch the counter. Dame comes back to stop any form of attack, and Eli Krapil in goal. But Max Dean, Ben, 4.5 minutes in, putting himself about, and pretty similar sort of approach to the Barrow game. He's head down, he's driving with his runs, and defensively standing out more than perhaps on the ball as well.
Yeah, you've got to do that side of the game, the defensive duties, in that wide position, tracking back, and he's done that first few minutes.
Yeah, ball in from Dreimer, looking for Dean, who's just going to try and peel inside when the ball's on his flank. We'll switch it up from going down the line, as here is Mullen. Flicks it inside to Niall Huggins, who tries to look down the line for McKinstry. Almost finds a pass inside. Was unlucky. McMillan was his target. And a good pace from Reading again. On the counter they come with Smith. Cresswell trying to stand him up and help Leeds his bodies get back in numbers. Cresswell's done that, and there is Joe Gallagher in the number 10 shirt. So just popping back into midfield and working a little bit extra to help Leeds recover possession. And as Ben said, it is a bit faster than perhaps the coaches would want, maybe more control. We know Leeds can play with this sort of tempo though. Moore goes down the right hand side, looping pass over the top looking for McMillan. They're going to try and watch this ball out of play. Reading, it's a good deflecting clearance, and that was the number 6 Nelson Abbey that wins Reading a throw-in. So ships some goals at the doors. Reading 7-2. Recovered well though against the two Midlands outfits and Aston Villa and West Brom. Always find these games back, Ben, a little bit frantic after the international break. Some of the players that represent their countries have been back in England a couple of days. Of course, you've got players called up to the first team if first team players have been injured, and sort of get that feel today that it's tactics out the window the first few minutes, and all these players just desperate to impress and look like they're just desperate to play some football.
Yeah, that's the key. So I'm being there myself where you don't have a game for a couple of weeks and you're just desperate to get out there, get out into the field, play some competitive football, because I'm sure they've been worked so hard in training. Mark Jackson doing all the kind of running drills with him just to keep the fitness topped up, but no, you do expect it. Just a little bit of 100 mile an hour stuff, and hopefully as the game settles down after the first few minutes, as there's just a foul on the far side, just got caught late, did Max Dean, but again, himself is showing his eagerness to try and track back work for the team. I think it's going to be an early yellow card. The referee's got his card in his hand.
Yeah, number 11 was the player who was speaking to Conor Lawless, and there's a number 8, and that's Ryan East. He is the captain, and that's why he's gone across, and good spot, Ben. It was a late challenge, so you can probably see that Max Dean felt that. Good to see him up on his feet, though. A little crafty back heel from Rodrigo as well, as Mark Jackson just gives a few words to the Leeds right back. Allen from Moore, and back to the Leeds centre half now. Dean again. We saw Dean playing a bit more through the middle and drifting to the flank today. He's an out-and-out winger and try to cut inside, so a different approach as Mullen gets the ball out to Huggins. Huggins going to try and go past his marker. Runs into traffic though. Again, the number 7 is bigger in stature as Mullen is now fouled, and that was good play from McKinstry. Femi Aziz, the Reading winger, is double the height of Niall Huggins. That's going to be a good battle today. Moore and Galhart work a couple of 1-2s as Moore now go again looking for Dean. He went for McMillan earlier. Dean does get to the ball. It's not the best clearance though. Was always going, I think, just going to bounce out of play, but a good idea. And I mentioned it in the last game, Ben, something a bit different from Leeds' attack, not always down on the floor, now and again going over the top towards, on that day it was Greenwood, but today it's McMillan. New approach perhaps from Mark Jackson, that maybe some defence they expect the ball to be on the floor and Leeds try to catch them out.
It's something that they do work on, because it's nice to keep the ball all neat and tidy, everything's to feet, but sometimes playing against an opposition, where can you hurt them? In behind. And we've certainly got the pace up front. Max McMillan, Max Dean, McKinstry as well, the kind of front three, expect to try and just turn in behind Reading. If the pass is on, if Reading are static and defensively, just play the ball early. I think the key is going to be the 2 centre halves who are going to be free either side of Charlie Creswell today. Don't force the pass.
Yeah, Reading come forward, and that's a ball intercepted by Huggins. He has to be quick here, and he's got there ahead of Aziz, and now he's on his way down the left-hand side. Such a exciting player to watch when he's in full flow. Now Huggins, he just had his pocket picked at the last second, perhaps one touch too many. And in midfield, taking the ball off him was Oliver Pendlebury. In midfield now with Ryan East. East will carry it and now put the ball in behind to Smith. Has he sprung the offside trap? He thinks he has. Caprile comes out and is nutmegged, and Leeds are beaten. And it's a smart finish from Sam Smith just before the 10-minute mark. He taps home. And Leeds is at high line, beaten for the first time. And Leeds have to come back from behind if they're going to get any points, Ben.
Really soft goal to give away. You don't expect that from where we've been playing. Yes, we have had a little international break, but you don't expect to get beat. A straight pass, straight through midfield, straight through your back three, and the players through on goal. He finished it well, yes. Was there a case for offside? Charlie Creswell certainly had his hand up, but don't play for offside. Keep playing till the whistle. Get into good positions. That'll be the disappointing thing from Mark Jackson. And you can just see there, Jim McKinstry just trying to G the boys up. And the good thing about it, we've still got plenty of time. As we see the goal, too easy. Can't have a straight pass like that. Was it offside? We can't really tell from the angle. Not too many complaints after the ball's found back of the net.
Yeah, I think it's just a good finish from that point. From once they sprung the attack, that was a decent finish. I thought Eli Caprile got off his line quite well. Unfortunately, left too big of a gap in between his legs, and he's nutmegged as the ball goes in, which will be, I'm sure, will annoy him, as Mullen's now been beaten as they come forward. Aziz has got Cresswell, and he just runs into traffic. He might have rolled the ankle here. And Leeds will play on. And now Huggins gets to the ball. I think he just caught the ankle in the turn. I don't think Cresswell touched him. Now Huggins goes from left to right. I'm sure Reading will be asking for the ball out here, as Leeds will try and punish them with Drame down the right flank. He's got Dean McMillan. He's got Gelhardt now. Gelhardt tries to weave his way through a couple of Reading shirts. Now out to Allen. Chad Allen to Drame. Drame's got Dean on his inside. He's now got Gelhardt. Plenty of Reading bodies back. Nearly everybody behind the ball. Cresswell, don't think we've seen Femi Aziz get back yet, so I'm presuming he's still down injured at the other side of the piece. Down the right hand side, that's taking a deflection. And Leeds want the call, and they've got it. He's now ready to go as he's just in front of us, hobbling along. Good to see he's still fit to continue. Don't want to see any opposition player hurt as well. It's a decent response, Ben, from the goal. Get the ball down, try and play some neat passing.
It's almost like it's kind of spurred us into life a little bit. Just crispy with the passing, moving it a bit more of a tempo.
Yeah, McKinstry with the corner. Plenty of lead shirts waiting on the edge of the box. It's a floater towards Cresswell and more. Heads it towards goal. Good header. Just didn't get the power needed. And in the end, Jocko Anderson brings it into his hands and just waits a second or two. But it's a decent routine. Not a bad header. It's on target then. So from a coaching point of view, it's another tick in the box.
You look at the back three for us today, plenty of height, plenty of physical capabilities, so any set pieces, just put into a dangerous area and hopefully they can go attack it.
Max Dean again, he's scrapping away, he's been beaten though. Now the ball comes to the near post, Cresswell's there. He's just struggling to win the second balls in the last few minutes. Too many Reading players back that are picking up the pieces. McMillan now perhaps having to drop a yard or two deeper than he would like. Allen trying to chase East and get him off the ball and across towards Huggins. Aziz now trying to run at Leeds' number 3. Float to the far post. Smith heads just on top of the net. And he does look a danger man. We mentioned the size difference, and you can tell in the stature, Ben, the difference. We've seen the last Leeds chance as well with the header from Moore. So we've got a couple of goals at either end so far today. But he is one man that does need to be marked and watched for, because his first few touches have been really impressive. In the air, he's going to be a big threat. You can tell that just by his sheer presence.
And it's a different challenge for our defence, because there's not too many guys like that. Every time we come up against the players in under-23 football, they're all neat and tidy, trying to spin in behind. It's almost like a throwback to an old school kind of centre-half, but going forward so far in the first 14 minutes, Reading just seemed to be just half a yard sharper, half a yard quicker in the thought process, what they want to do with the ball. Just not getting tight enough to people. Plenty of effort trying to close people down, but it's like half a yard, get closer to the man in the ball. Can you affect him? And then you need to get your defensive position off back of that.
Ball out towards the left-hand side for Reading's point of view. Just nearly 15 minutes into this. If you're only just tuning into LUTV, it was a goal from Sam Smith in the 10th minute, just a few minutes ago. Leeds not really into their stride before that. Another young team out there today, plenty of under-18s players that are in the mix. Big chance for them to step up as well as Huggins gets the ball. McKinstry was on his way down the left. Oh, great play from Niall Huggins. Beats his man, shows him one way, goes the other. Huggins comes forward. That'll be towards Cody Drame. Will he have a go for goal? He's going to go low and hard towards the near post, and it's cleared away. And it will be another corner. And there's a number of good left-backs at the club, Ben. Following your footsteps, of course. But we've got Leith Davies, we've got others. But there's just something about Niall Huggins at left-back that you just want to see him play as many matches as possible.
He's not a natural left-back, and that's the kind of surprise opposition will come up against, because he's right-footed. He's technically a winger, a number 10, and he just glides past people. You don't really see that too much from full-back positions.
Ball out from towards McKinstry. Mullen's gone down. Header from Cresswell. And Dean and McMillan were trying to cause the keeper Anderson a few problems. Nothing given in terms of free kicks or penalties. Referee letting the game flow. Now McMillan having to come down the right-hand side. Of course, Huggins trying to fill the void, or fill the same mould of Stuart Dallas, who's very similar sort of player, of course, a winger playing his trade at left back and doing an excellent job as well. And Huggins keeps up the same sort of consistency. We could see him in the first team forward in the next few years as Leeds try and play through the back. Moore rescues his teammate Drame with a lazy pass. And Cresswell to Mullen. McKinstry. It's a good ball. Huggins is on his way again as he's left him far too open. He's going to go for the low and hard cross and another corner. This is a bit better from Leeds, Ben. There's a bit more directness to the play. It's always good trying to keep possession, but they're going with a bit more of a gung-ho style and stretching the play wide. The only downside is, of course, McMillan on his own. We've yet to see Gelhardt pop up in that last few little seconds to get the number 10 spot and try and finish.
I mentioned about Mullen and Moore, who could be key for us in possession. No surprise that it's Huggins as well, out on this left-hand side, driving forward.
Yeah, Reading for now have left Huggins. The pass is crisp, they could use him, but McKinstry instead floats it to the far post. Cresswell heads it back towards goal, and Anderson saves. Another attempt from Dean to get in his way. And this time, Femi Aziz does go down. I don't think he's ever run off the original knock when he challenged with Ryan Cresswell earlier, really trying to get a second goal for Reading. And that would suggest to me that perhaps his day is done. He's tried. He does want some physio, so it's our first real break in play. Reading 1-0 up. And perhaps with all physio intervals, of course, it gives the other coach a chance to give some instructions, and Matt Jackson will certainly be trying to assess the goal, see where it all went wrong. Because Moore had stepped up to mark the number 10, and it was Cresswell that was with Smith. I'm not sure, as you say, Ben, with the angle. You don't know if it was Cresswell or Huggins playing them on, but it's not often we see teams go straight through the middle like that against Leeds. And the one thing I've always noticed since McKinstry's come into the fold is he's incredibly vocal. Always try to give encouragement, always try to give instructions, and even when he was one of the younger members of the team last season with some more experienced 23s players, he was still giving his opinion out. So good to see players taking responsibility.
Yeah, it's back. I can see Matt Jackson there telling people get close to the man on the ball, because going back to the goal, far too easy. He'll be most disappointed about that, where a midfield player for Reading can receive the ball in his kind of defensive third, get on the half turn, and then play a 30-40 yard pass straight through our midfield and in our defence. So whether he's onside or not, that's not the issue. It's getting tight to people on the ball. And that's just kind of sorting out where you are in the pitch. Different formation. We mentioned playing free at the back. Joe Gelhardt is not going to play in his typical number 10 position where he's close to the main striker. He's almost like a central midfield player. Something similar that you've seen with Calvin Phillips in England, where it's Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice, or Calvin Phillips and Harry Winks, two kind of holding midfield players. And that's kind of role Joe Gelhardt's got today. Yes, in possession we can spring him forward, try and affect the game in the final third, but between him and Charlie Allen, they've got a defensive duty out of possession, whereas get close to people, do the horrible side of the game. So sometimes it's just a bit of sorting out. You can still see the players there. Sometimes as the game develops, you have to talk amongst each other, where it still might have not developed how you expect the game plan before the game. Things might be different as the game starts. Then you've got to problem solve as the game develops. And sometimes as a young player, that's the difficult side of the game. But it's all a learning curve. But I would say since that goal has gone in, the response has been really good. A few set pieces won, a few corners won. Again, Huggins bombing forward on that left-hand side, so keep utilising him as well.
It'd be a big bonus if Leeds can bring him into the game more and more. Getting back underway, and Leeds trying to get a pounce on the mix-up, and it's McMillan trying to get there, the keeper and the defender. No idea what they were doing there, and that's a real bonus for Leeds. Try to watch the keeper now. Can they target him with the high press? Force the pass to his feet as Allen tries to get it to Gelhardt. Almost think McMillan was surprised. Such was the ease of that free kick. It's not often you see something so simple break down like that. Been good under the high ball, Anderson, but to his feet there, under pressure. Next Dean is turned, and now the left back Briscoe tries to pile forward. He's almost got through, but Moore stands in his way, but he rises the challenge and off the bar. And he managed to get through them. Don't know how. Another player that was trying to get himself in the way. I don't think Matt Jackson will believe, Ben, that he should have got that far, to be honest, the left back. He should have been taken either out of the picture with a cheap foul or a stronger tackle, because once he was challenged once, that should have been it. And Leeds perhaps in defence has been aggressive enough as they should have been, as the left back now gets his arms aloft. Floater to the near post. Smith again. Well worked routine, and Leeds do well to recover. Allen's let it glide past him. Pendlebury out to the left. Gelhardt trying to use his strength to outmuscle Abbey. And Gelhardt will concede what looks like a corner there. In fact, they get the goal kick. And Cresswell now trying to give a few instructions out to his teammates, but another warning sign, and we keep saying it about the 23s level, that these players are not going to be allowed to make cheap mistakes anymore. Such the quality of the academy players they're coming up against. Should have done a bit better as Moore goes to Dean. That pass is far too lethargic, but that's the same set of Reading's pass, and now Allen can spring the ball wide. I think he was looking for Huggins. McKinstry instead the more sensible target. Gelhardt to Dean. Dean's pass does get back to Gelhardt, although it was close. McKinstry wants the option of Huggins. Leeds have to try and get more bodies in the box. Only McMillan and Dean are in there currently. McKinstry again, he's turned his ease. Now we're trying to float the cross. It's a low ball inside. McMillan's touch was a little bit sloppy. Good defending, I think, though, compared to the touch. He's ready to pull the trigger. He hasn't gone out of play. And Huggins keeps it, gives it to McKinstry. Now can Huggins get back on side and help him out? That pass from McKinstry is lazy, and Leeds give the ball away again. So both teams guilty of being a bit sloppier in possession. Reading not as bad as Leeds so far. And, just as I say it, nice bit of commentator's curse. Take that. But as you say, very frantic, and it's making for a better game for us to watch in terms of tempo and pace. But I don't think Leeds' coaching team will be happy with the positions Leeds are getting in, and then when they get there, they're simply either taking the wrong option or try to be a bit too fancy.
Well, something you don't really see with the under-23s at the moment, because we're used to having control of the game, and again, sloppy play, giving the ball away in a dangerous area.
Yeah, Gelhardt can't get the tackle in as East comes forward. It's out towards the left-hand side. It was Onan across, then he goes to Lawless. He's got two lead shirts. Here is Allen. Does well there, Charlie Allen. Just takes his time, doesn't get involved. And it's out towards the right-hand side. But yeah, Allen the last time let the ball go past him. This time a crisper touch, and again it's very easy to look at some of the mistakes these players are making, but a lot of them are playing well above their age group. You look at the likes of, even McKinstry came in as an under-18s player that was immediately pushed forward. You've got McMillan, you've got Allen, you've got Dean, Moore, Mullen. These players are stepping up for the 23s and certainly holding their own for now as Leeds win another decision. That ball was rolling, and it was. Third time of asking, Leeds can finally get the game back underway. Mullen's first touch takes him away from the defender, so this forward, and he has to ride the challenge and wins a free kick. So a different side to his game against Accrington. Got little injuries, nothing too serious. He just caught a stray boot. Oh, to Drame, that pass was good. The touch from Drame wasn't, but if that touch would have been good, it would have allowed him to come forward. We saw that against Sunderland the other week, Ben, where we saw the game where Drame sort of got forward for the first time, really. We've seen him more as a right centre half, and he played a couple of games at right back, but was always keeping the ball, but a bit more free flowing, and perhaps we could maybe see a bit more of that today from Leeds. It's all been down one flank, the full-back play.
Yeah, sometimes that happens over the course of the game. The rhythm, that's how it kind of plays out. Sometimes it always goes down one side. You do get frustrated as well. You think, come on, pass down to my side, please.
Yeah, I've just seen him as well, Jamie. He's making a great forward run as Huggins does the exact same again. Now into the box he comes. Can he finish? Shot takes a deflection. He's desperately unlucky now. Huggins, he was going for goal. Now McKinstry. Options queuing up for Leeds. McKinstry tries to beat his man. The back heel or the flick to Huggins. He floats it to the far post. No one's there for Leeds, and that's potential harm ball. Well, that was Lawless, and well, Dean's asking the question, Mullen as well. And just alongside me, Ben was arching back in frustration because all we wanted to see was that Leeds United shirt queuing up at the back post, and nobody there.
No one there, and that's where Max Dean should have been. He's got number 7 on his back, needs to come in at the far post, being a wide man, cross from the other side. You've seen him there asking the question to the referee, was it a penalty? Probably not. But instead of asking the question to the referee, be 10 yards closer to the goal, you got yourself a tap-in then.
Yeah, Dean goes near post, as does Moore. It's towards the far post. Here comes Cresswell. Good brave header from Reading. Some of the corner routines have been pretty impressive so far from Leeds. Have certainly caused a problem as Dean floats it in. Cresswell was there waiting, and yet another corner. Good options today for Leeds, though. Ben, with Cresswell's normally the main target. We've got Casey, we've got obviously had Pascal Struijk in the path as well, but Cresswell, the last couple, he's been the target. Moore was the man that met the first one. Mullins certainly just as tall. So Reading have got their work to do. Zonal marking their route again as McKinstry floats it. Cresswell, Anderson comes. Keeper gets the slightest touch. Referee gives a free kick, and well, Dean has been on the keeper at all times, and he's just trying to put his body in the way to put Anderson off. And I'm fairly in the category that keepers get too much protection, but I'll take that as a positive for Leeds, because I thought the keeper was flapping there.
It seems to be. And you can see the real battle. You mentioned it, Tom, about the zonal marking from Reading. And all Leeds are doing, just from the corner routines, just standing a ball up, putting it into an area, not trying to whip it in, too much pace on the delivery. And then it's almost a question, right, we've got the run on the zonal markers, can you make it count?
Yeah, so far so good. Just need to get one of them to find the back of the net as Leeds appeal for the throw-in. So do Reading, and it goes to the home team playing at the Bearwood Park training facility. Got to be up there for one of the best names for training grounds. Lovely facility as well, as Leeds will expect that as they step up into PL2. Very similar to that they play at Thorpe Arch when they get their home games, which Leeds have got a few more to look forward to on home soil. And a few decent trips so far, and so far so good. Third in the table, as I say, but today just trailing. Got some more defensive work to do towards the near post, and like April very gratefully brings it into the edge of the box, as we always mention. Had a laugh and a joke about it the other week that he's always seemingly in fast forward mode like April, but it's great for Leeds when they're trailing. They need that urgency from the goalkeeper trying to kickstart an attack. Quickens retrieves possession, tries to turn his man, and does so. He gets past Aziz and makes it look so easy, and it's anything but. And off it goes again. Huggins tries to turn the ball inside. He's really unlucky not to find McMillan. I mean, I don't know. I've lost count of how many runs he's done, Ben. But see, I think he's only one that hasn't come out and been successful. He really has got himself back in the game today, and it can't be nice playing against him.
We're almost kind of reinventing the left-back position, what the criteria is. You mentioned Stuart Dallas in the first team, and what he offers covers every blade of grass, and now you see Niall Huggins dribbling past people, ghosting past them in a left-back position, but bombing forward into the final third with it as well. It's fantastic to see. And for everybody who watched the Wolves game in the under-23s, we mentioned in the second half, it was almost a battle of the two left-backs in that game, Niall Huggins and Wolves left-back. And very similar to this game as well. Reading's left-back, Bristow, started really well, a big powerful guy on the far side. And with Huggins directing play from our left-back position, I'm glad I'm retired.
Great work from McKinstry to Huggins again. On towards goal he comes. Now tries to play the pass to McKinstry. First time. Oh, again, Leeds are unlucky. Reading, I mean, it is good defending from Reading in terms of the scrambling. They're getting back. They try to block the pass routes. Leeds just need one of those ricochets to go their way. Do wonder, Ben, if Huggins would have been better going for a bit more directness. Did the fact that he stopped allow Reading to get back? I'm not sure if he picked the wrong option. Don't want to question one of the Leeds' shining lights today so far, as Gallagher gets it, a chance for him to strike. And I was just about to say, the first real time Joe Gallagher popped up in space on the edge of the box with nobody around him, and that shot just probably demonstrates the fact it's the first time. A little bit rusty.
Yeah, just dragged it wide. Really fancied him in that position as well. The first touch out of his feet, fancied to test the goalkeeper from that range. Unfortunately, like I said, just dragged it. But no, with Niall Huggins, if he gets the final ball right, he'll be an unbelievable player, unbelievable talent. You can already see that. As you can see, Reading, they're going to be forced into a change. This has happened within the first couple of minutes, wasn't it? When when he turned his ankle down in the penalty box. You can just see all the boys taking a bit of fluids on, probably getting some energy gels as well down him. But it's a good word for Mark Jackson, can just see their ball goes over his head, can you get tight? That's what he's saying to Charlie Allen. Don't switch off as a midfield player.
Yeah, second time of Aziz has gone down, second time for him to give the instructions out. Mind of the Leeds bench today, Danny van der Heuvel, Ollie Casey, Josh Galloway, so limited options for Mark Jackson. Might have to try and switch things up, bring Casey into the fold, a bit more experience in there, or a player that's played a bit further forward in the holding midfielder role. 3 centre-backs could have been needed though, with the striker Sam Smith again. If you're just tuning into LUTV, the Reading goal came in the 10th minute. It was Smith that scored it. Sprung the offside trap, fired home, but Leeds' efforts have been a bit more improved since then. Their best effort on target is Moore's header. Cresswell's had one saved as well. Big 15 minutes now for Leeds, and not a good sight for the young man. Femi Aziz having to go off, and did look a really innocuous injury where he seemed to just caught the studs in the turf and rolled the ankle, and he has battled on for 20 odd minutes to try and run it off. Just shows you the desperation, as Ben mentioned, to play. First game back after the international break, desperate to get some minutes. Unfortunately, the injury has proved too much. And they did apply a really heavy strapping the first time he went down, but it hasn't worked. And now Leeds will get the benefit of trying to attack a player that's just come into the game, which sometimes can work in your favour. Reading coaching staff coming across to talk to skipper, which is Ryan East. Some new tactics perhaps for them to get their heads round. I'm surprised for the last mix-up to see Anderson go along with that header, and Huggins gets up really well to beat Smith in the air. Fantastic lead, because Smith is much bigger. As Mullen comes down the left, McKinstry, Leeds are finding a lot of joy down this left-hand side. Now can they switch it to the right? Drame tells Dean to leave it, which he does. Now can he latch on to the end of the through ball? He can't, but Dean tries to ride that challenge and he concedes a throw-in. That's what we mentioned earlier though. Try and switch the play up a little bit. Drame certainly is putting himself in those positions, just hasn't had the service. Good header from the summer signing. Now Charlie Allen gets involved and tries to flick the pass towards Drame. He turns inside his man, goes back on the outside as well. Now floats the cross. McKinstry a chance, and Huggins blazes over, and it should be at least on target from there. You feel player of his quality. He's a bit frustrated, and I don't know whether the touch maybe put him off, Ben. His run was perfect though, timed it in terms of his actual strike. He was on the money. It was just a rugby-like conversion that the Leeds runners could do with tomorrow at Wembley. Not what we wanted.
No, it wasn't, but fantastic to see him getting into the box, just trusting his teammates to put the ball in the right area. And I mentioned only a few moments ago about the end product, and that's where you got to find the back of the net. Just the wrong technique for me, trying to go with his laces. Just go in step with your foot, just pass it into the back of the net. Don't have to get too much pace with it, 6 yards out. Big chance was that.
Yeah, huge chance for Leeds, and hopefully build on that rather than take it as a disappointment. Reading come forward and try and build out from the back. Smith appreciated the idea. The pass was nowhere near him though, as Cresswell's now got it. Mullen wants someone to come close. Huggins is the man that does just that. The pass was too soft though. Now Reading win the ball back. Smith coming right hand side for the time being, while Reading still adjust to their new tactics. That should help Leeds. He was the main counter threat for them through the middle, as Cresswell to Mullen. McKinstry needs to get the ball away and does, and now Huggins is away. McMillan's going far post. Will he dart to the near? And he's shown a bit too much to Smith, who Very valiantly, I think has kept that ball in play, and he has. It's a throw-in. Great work rate, much to Leeds' annoyance. Huggins needs a few more options. McKinstry back to the Leeds number 3, inside to Gelhardt, whose guns goes down. Free kick given just on the edge of the penalty box, Ben, and Joe Gelhardt's so crafty at that, he could see the tackle coming. And the defender has chopped him in two, Amari Samuels.
For a young player who's got plenty of experience, Joe Gelhardt showed it all there. Knew the challenge was coming, just had to get a touch on the ball first, did that. Again, another dangerous area. Are we going to stand this one up? Are we going to whip the delivery in?
It's a tough one, isn't it? It's very close. It's going to have to be some serious loft if they're going to get it to the back post. And could well be that they go for that far corner and hope it goes in if there's no touch as well. So Huggins is coming to the near post. Samuels has been told to come and form part of the wall, so Reading have to frantically get themselves ready. East is lurking, he knows that Huggins is there, so it's a big moment in the game, crucial point in the half. It goes low and hard, a flick, oh, beautiful flick as well, and Dean is the man that taps home, and it's another goal for him. A couple of goals in the EFL trophy, and great celebrations from Leeds. Fantastically worked free kick, and it's one apiece.
Fantastic quality, fantastic vision. And I was sitting here watching just Max Dean stand in that position thinking, are Reading going to allow him to stand there all alone? They certainly did. And whilst they're doing that, McKinstry just thought, I'm just going to put this ball on the floor, wrap a pass in, and it's over to Max Dean. Clever little flick into the far corner. You have to say the last 10-15 minutes we've definitely deserved that equaliser. As you can see there, he was stood in that position for a good 10-15 seconds. No Reading marker, not getting goal side, they just left him, stayed in their zone. And that's where zonal marking, it's so difficult, it's so hard to kind of get it right. We took advantage of that back on level terms.
Yeah, good spot, Ben. Didn't see him pop up at that. I was too busy watching McKinstry and Huggins at the time. But they really did let themselves down there, Reading, which is good news for Leeds. See Max Dean, he's predominantly played with his right foot, but that was a really deft touch of his left and perfect flick. Keeper had no chance, and hopefully now Leeds can have a build on that and get another one before half time, or at least hold on as Dean gets his head to that. As more with McMillan, it's a good touch. Drame is so very high up the pitch, and he and Dean will now swap places. Good pressurising from McMillan again. He hasn't had too much service, but he knows his job is to work tremendously hard. We've seen it over the years with Kunmihayov, Ryan Edmondson, Sam Greenwood now. McMillan now perhaps stepping into the void for the next couple of weeks with, I'll just say, Greenwood out for a couple of weeks with a ankle injury, 3 to 4. Hopefully a bit sooner than that, but the way Leeds are playing just shows the next man up sort of attitude where they have to adjust, and that is the way the Leeds 23s are going to go this year, with so many playing for the first team squad as well. Good work from East to charge through midfield. He's beaten Allen. Now Allen's got to try and get back. Gelhardt's coming. Great work from Charlie Allen. Doesn't foul his man. Just nips in at the right time with the tackle. Now Drame with a foot race. He's got 2 for company. Turns past the first, turns past the second, keeps the ball. Fine work as Allen to Dean. And a great spot of defending and tracking back from both teams there.
Yeah, I love that from Charlie Allen. Initially just got beat on the press, but didn't give it up, and that's the attitude you love to see.
Oh yeah, I love that touch as well from McKinstry. Now can he go low and hard? He can. Spot the run from Max Dean at the far post as well. And perhaps that's where the pass should have come, but that late run, he's timing it ever so well. With 5 minutes to go in this first half, Leeds really have now found their feet and are causing Reading problems. And it's good for Leeds' point of view, Ben, but I think Reading's choice to put Sam Smith to the right-hand side has been to their detriment, really.
I don't think anybody wants to mark Niall Huggins at the moment. I think that's the problem they are having.
Yeah. Their best number 9 has to go play right wing because he's willing to track back. As Leeds win a free kick, Smith will just rather try and annoy Huggins and take it a bit further back. He doesn't even flinch. And here is Cresswell. Back to Mullen. Kinsh's got time to turn. That'll be annoying Reading. The amount of time they're giving Leeds' players. As Gelhardt manages to get the ball away from one. He goes into the second challenge. Gelhardt puts his left foot in there. And the referee is given the free kick. thought both players had gone for that pretty fairly. The Reading midfielder didn't seem to complain about it. Leeds certainly are. They're not happy with that, and the referee just giving his explanation. If that's what he thinks, then Leeds have to get on with it and accept his call.
Well, initially it should have been a foul on Joe Gelhardt, and he just battled for the ball back, put in a heavy challenge, a fair challenge, won the ball, and nothing wrong with it whatsoever. So, bit of a baffling one from the referee.
That's what he was trying to explain. I think Gelhardt's probably trying to demonstrate that, Ben. That's why he was trying to tell him to calm down. Nothing more annoying when you think the referee should give you a free kick and they tell you to calm down. As we see the number 5, Tenai Watson in possession. Anderson now in the Reading goal, and Reading going with a more slower approach, long ball forward over the top, and the sub Nahan Melvin Lam has managed to get to that, and got to the ball and puts it back into the middle as well, and Mullen gets there, good interception from him, and Reading wanted a free kick in back play. Allen manages to ride the challenge, and now he tries to go with the through ball to McMillan. It's a good idea from Charlie Allen. He was a little unlucky with the first touch. I thought it was great vision from him to just try and turn his man. A couple of ricochets, he hasn't had to go his way. The pass into the channel from McMillan was just a little too hot. Nelson happy for Reading coming down the left-hand side. They've managed to get down that touchline once more. Leeds shuffling their way back, making sure they stay tight to their markers. Kodadrame is watching Connor Lawless. I think he's pretty much on a man-marking mission because he's very high up the pitch. And Leeds get the throw-in, and Stuart McKinstry again straight away. Round of applause for his teammates. Perhaps asking for a free kick, a little look towards the official. Allen back to Cresswell, perhaps a little bit more time for Leeds. Of course, should get some stoppage time. We had 2 injury delays. As he's going down twice, as Huggins again. Smith's efforts to track him back are not the most rampant, and now he gets to the towards the byline, puts the ball into the box, and does win Leeds another corner. And I'd be happy if I'm Niall Huggins watching the efforts of Sam Smith, because he didn't look to be too bothered there, Ben.
Is it me, or does it just seem a mismatch that at the moment? Sam Smith, your big number 9, who you expect to be down the middle, where he got his goal, he shouldn't be tracking back at all. Niall Huggins got him on toast.
Yeah, Reading falling asleep again. Here is Allen. He's going to go for goal. Left footed, just didn't get the power on it. He had that much time there, Allen, that he probably could have put it onto his stronger right foot. It's great news for Leeds, but Reading are really switching off, and I'm sure their coaching staff are going to read them a few more instructions at half time, because they're just allowing Leeds to settle into this game. And we've seen over the last few years, you can't allow these players to settle down and get into their groove, because they will punish you. Here's Samuels, goes past McKinstry. McKinstry doesn't give up on that though. And then there's Joe Gelhardt. He's a little unfortunate. He tries to put the tackle in. It goes underneath the studs. He's going to challenge with the number 4 of the Pendlebury. Give him the big shoulder barge, trying to nudge him off the ball. McMillan again playing centre midfield for now, just making sure he can help and trap back. The shot's going to come in towards the far post. Oh, what a save. Superb stop from Elijah Kapil, who's had pretty much nothing to do. Even the goalie couldn't do much about it, but Jaden Oden was going for goal. It looked destined for that corner. That's a superb stop, Ben.
It's a fantastic save. Makes it even better because there's been a bit of a passenger for the last 15-20 minutes. Not really been involved in the game. We've been on top. Good sign of a goalkeeper is that pulled out a fantastic save where you're not involved in the match.
Yeah, ball towards this far post again. Leeds had to be alert here. Moore gets his head to it. Shot comes in and it is no deflection. The referee says it is a Leeds United goal kick. And that's very similar to what Caprile did the other week when he were playing against Sunderland, when he had nothing to do all game and they made a stunning save to keep Leeds in a great position. Shows some great concentration from him. And then Evander Hoiver will, I'm sure, interchange in the goalkeeper slot this season, but he's trying to keep that shirt his own. Gelhardt flies in with another tackle. And Reading managed to get the ball. Bristow tries to go past Cresswell and Caprile does well. So does Charlie Cresswell. Reading players stayed down. It was a determined effort from him. I think it's more nothing, just a bit of a heavy landing. And now here we come down the left with Huggins once more. He's got 3 shirts, McKinstry, Macmillan and Dean in front of him. Allen to spray the pass out to the right hand side. He will use Drame. Now he goes across to try and help him out. Still time for Leeds to get another attack, another goal before the interval. McKinstry with 3 on his back manages to get the ball away. Little flick off the Reading boot as Mullen. Someone needs to come a bit more central. He tries to float it over the top to Dean. Dean tries to go with a sliding dive. He's unlucky. Thumbs up from him. Another tremendous performance so far from Max Dean. That number 7 shirt for Leeds. Looking forward to the second half now. This game really has opened up in Leeds' favour. Tackle from Mullen. Still a good battle this, Ben.
Yeah, it's going to make for a great second half. Reading started the brighter the teams. They were really sharp in the final third, couldn't get close to people, just half a yard off, but then I think just that break and injury just got the message across from Mark Jackson. Players gathered round for a little drinks break, and since that moment we've just been on top. Could easily be quite ahead, but the good thing is we haven't conceded that second goal, so like I say, it's going to be a fantastic watch as this second half.
And Leeds go across to mark up once again. Dean is beaten by Bristow. It's a beautiful first touch. Now he goes with the floating pass. Cresswell has to watch himself here. Edge of the box. Gelhardt gets to it. Is it a free kick? I think it's going to be. And Joe Gelhardt is saying he's got a touch. That's been a good battle that the last few minutes. Oliver Pendlebury has got the better of him the last 2 times. He might have to watch himself, Gelhardt. He could play himself into the book here with his demonstrations. He's not very happy, and the card is out. Always a tough one, Ben, because with the pace he's coming at, if he clips him, he's trying to say that he got the touch of the ball first. He's not happy. And that's going to be a battle to watch in the second half. So Joe Gelhardt, the first player for Leeds, booked as well.
And what it is, it's a really dangerous situation just leading into half-time as well. I feel sorry for Joe Gelhardt because the effort's there, always is with him. His attitude's been absolutely fantastic, the games we've watched him so far this season. I think from a referee's point of view, he was just kind of the wrong side. I can see why the referee's given it. I can see the frustration of Joe Gelhardt as well. It's one of those really kind of 50-50 decisions as a player. They either go for you or they don't. If they don't, you're going to end up with a yellow card. And look at the situation now, very difficult.
Yeah, so deep into stoppage time in this first half, and goal scorer for Reading, Sam Smith, puts the ball down and gets himself ready. You would feel the fact that he's put this down twice now suggests he is the taker. He does have Oliver Pendlebury just to the left. And leads his 4-man wall. Dean stood there as well. Jame's got to watch out. It is going to be a shot from Pendlebury though. It takes a huge deflection. Good wall from Leeds. Stays nice and big, keeps the arms intact and keeps them tucked in. That ball will just about bounce away, and Leeds United managed to hold on in what was a great first half response. They fell behind after Sam Smith's goal in the 10th minute, but then a goal from Max Dean, a back heel from a free kick in the 38th minute. Caprile's made a great save. Huggins has been superb, and bring on the second half in around 15 minutes time.
Marching on together. We are Premier League. Be ready for Leeds. Join the journey. Welcome, JD.
Well, it was a different game back then. The question is, Tim, are Leeds ready to return? Has it been too long?
So Leeds, how's the football team doing?
The big leagues aren't ready for Leeds, man. They aren't ready for Leeds, man.
Well, here I am at Ellen Road as they get ready to welcome back top-flight football for the first time in 16 years.
Well, here we go then.
Leeds United is about more than football. It's about the culture. It's about loyalty. It's like the song says, it stays with you forever. The pride in pulling on that jersey, playing for the city and its people. That's why I always tell off my second home, Leeds United!
Yes. Let's go. Mention in the hundreds.
Take a hit. Smash your profile. And I'm on the 62nd floor. Holding a profile. I'm just...
Starts in 3 minutes. Start when I get there.
Ja, komt. Hij komt, hij heeft het juist.
Single leg skipping now, high as you can. Yeah, good. Finish on the acceleration. Push, 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 push. Off and follow, round and play fast. Space. Inside, outside. Good.
Hey, my name's Giancarlo Poveda, and I'm dishing out FIFA 21 boxes. Stay tuned. You look at my stats, 62. It's embarrassing, but next year hopefully it'll be better. 76 pace, come on man, surely I'm higher, no? Billy boy, don't worry mate, I've got you mate. Is this you?
You don't even play PlayStation.
Is this you, Bill? 68 pace? Nah. How does he have 675 rating and I got 62?
Dribbling 66.
Nah.
Yeah, you know,
How does he?
Step over on you. I'll put a step over on you.
How's he dribbling better, man? Nah. Bamford. 71.
71 pace.
Yeah.
That's muggy. We've actually made it, haven't we? They've actually put my physicality as the same as my pace.
Here you go, bro. Mano, Kiko. Yeah.
Let's call me.
74 rating. Not bad, man, not bad.
Oh, is he not so old? 46
Check his ratings out.
He's not real, eh?
46 speed. That's walking pace, that.
Terrible. 71 for passing. David De Queen got what? He got 72 for passing.
Jeez, we got the new signing, you know, baller. Look at that tech. Look at that tech. Phew. Ah, Bash got the best of him. Bash.
You're the plug, yeah.
Come on, man, you know me. I'm the plug, baby.
Well done.
Oh, show them your ratings. Show them your ratings. What do you think about all of that?
Room for improvement?
Yeah, FIFA's
Not
mugging
bad,
us,
though.
you know, they're mugging us.
Anything above 70 is a bonus.
Is it? I've got that 62, bro.
Seriously, keep working hard, you're going to be there. Hey, you'll get there one day.
Check your stats out. Open it, bro. 82 pace. Decent, bro. Show him. Nice little trim there. 86 pace, aye, good.
73, man.
70, yeah, bro. 66 shot, come on, man.
I missed my 75 card.
60, bro, I'm 62, you know.
Marching on together. We are Premier League. Be ready for Leeds. Join the journey. Welcome, JD.
Well, it was a different game back then. The question is, Tim, are Leeds ready to return? Has it been too long?
So Leeds, how's your football team doing?
The big leagues aren't ready for Leeds, man. They aren't ready for Leeds, man.
Well, here I am at Ellen Road as they get ready to welcome back top-flight football for the first time in 16 years.
Well, here we go then. Leeds United is about more than football. It's about the culture. It's about loyalty. It's like the song says, it stays with you forever. The pride in putting on that jersey, playing for the city and its people. That's why I always tell off my second home, Leeds United!
wait for his kick, fella. Yes, come on, boys, come on. Up you get! Up you get!
To rally. Some discomfort, but Leeds' equalising goal came from Max Dean. A back heel from a Stuart McKinstry free kick, and Leeds' team is Caprile, Drame, Huggins, Mullen, Cresswell, Moore, Dean, Allen, McMillan, Delhart and McKinstry. The bench, Van der Heuvel, Casey and Galloway. Myself, Tom Hill and Ben Parker bringing you all the action. Hopefully another win for Leeds. They've got some defending to do. To the far post, it's taken one touch or two, and the referee said they were off Leeds' bodies. Leeds going for 3 wins in a row. Sunderland and Middlesbrough both beaten. Leeds third in the table on 7 points before kick-off today. It will be some response after starting the season with a 4-0 defeat to Stoke and a draw with Wolves. Kinch has got to watch that short option towards the near post. Mullen gets up, tries to get his head to it. Referee says another corner. A positive start, Ben, from Reading. Not what Leeds needed, maybe a few minutes to just settle back down again, and shows what we expect from this PL2 this season. Just when we think Leeds are going to be in the ascendancy and scoring a few more goals, Reading come out firing in the second half. Gets Ben's thoughts in a second, and hopefully Leeds clear this ball. Not the best corner. Drame does enough to put his foot through it. Millen doesn't get a touch with it with his head. He's beaten 3 or 4 players, taken out the game with a one flick as East plays it. Shot comes in from Smith, it hits Moore on the back. Caprile was getting to his left to save it. And the pressure continues, Ben.
Yeah, another set piece to deal with. We dealt with them so well so far. Start this second half, and it's vital that we just hold out here. Don't concede an early goal. We've been guilty of that in a couple of games this season, conceding right at the start of the second half.
Ball taken short, and a chance then to fire it towards the near post. Now back across comes Mullen. There is Huggins, and Leeds finally got a goal kick and a chance to regroup and restart. And as I mentioned, there was chances in the first half. Moore had a header saved, Huggins volleyed over from point blank range, and Caprile made a stunning save from Jaden Onan. Caprile's pass is perfect. Didn't look to be perfect when he left his boot, but it found its target. It took 2 Reading players out of the game. And here comes McKinstry down the right. He releases Joe Gallagher, who keeps it close to his feet. Tries to out-strengthen, out-muscle his way past the defender. He's beaten 2, he goes down, he's clipped. I think it's by Lawless, and he's on a card. Well, that's what Max Dean's pointing at. A bit of a cynical foul, and Dean straight away tried to say to the referee, well, you carded him in the first half, what's the difference? And the way that Joe Gallagher's looking at him suggests that's the same sort of response, Ben.
Yeah, it does look like a couple of positional changes as well. It looks like Joe Gallagher's come further up, almost playing as a number 9 position, with Ollie Casey coming on, Charlie Creswell going off. Just looks a bit of a shuffle in the back three. Ollie Casey's going into the more central midfield position that we've seen him play quite a few times, albeit as a single holding kind of player in Calvin Phillips' role. Well, that just means Joe Gallagher gets further up the pitch, closer to the goal. Seeing those kind of positions where he's really dangerous, driving towards the box, winning free kicks.
Yeah, so McKinstry on the right-hand side with this free kick, where Reading's 2-man wall trying to cover the near post. You would feel he'll float this to the far post. Casey will be one of those that's queuing up. Mullen and Moore as well. Of course, Allen could be an option. Huggins is lurking as well as they whip it to the far post. It's going to fall to the edge of the box. Reading hook it clear. That'll be only as far as Drame, who just gets on his way before floating that ball to the far post. It's missed by a number of players, both for Reading and Leeds. Huggins is a bit naive there, dives in too early. The drama doesn't there, and it's what Ben's pretty much praised him all season, as Caprile nearly gets his feet in a tangle. Here's Mullen down the left-hand side. Huggins keeps it in, but only runs into traffic. Here is Smith. Smith tries to wait for an overlapping run, which he gets. Smith goes again. Another brave header, this time from Moore, who's I think had a very consistent game today. Young Chris Moore in defence, wearing the number 6 shirt. Mullen wheels away, so he and Mullen have got a big game today now, because Casey, if he is playing a little bit further forward, they've lost that. It sounds quite sarcastic to say Charlie Cresswell's experience at 23's level when he's only had half a season or two in there, but they are now the 2 under-18 centre-halves playing in a year above them, and they'll need someone like Kodadrama. You've praised his one-on-one defending. It's going to be a lot more patient, and don't commit yourself too early, Ben, in this second half, because I'm sure Reading will try to draw those 2 centre-backs out.
Yeah, and that's the key. Don't commit yourself. Still staying structured. Great closing down by Joe Gelhardt there.
Yeah, same for Dean. Gives away the throw-in.
But now going back to your point, Tom, as the 2 young players at the back, I thought they've grown into the game really well. They've not put a foot wrong, look comfortable in possession, but now it's just doing the basics as a defender. Can you head the balls clear when they're getting pumped up forward? You can see the 2 kind of big strikers for Reading. I know they try and get the ball down and play in the right areas, but they do have an aerial threat as well. So as a defender, can you win your headers, win your tackles, win your blocks, and then anything else is a bonus.
Certainly is. As Leeds, as you say, Ben, have switched things up a little bit. Good interception from Huggins, and now Leeds back on the attack. He's got McMillan on his right hand side. He's got Gelhardt. He might go for goal on his own. Plays it into Casey, the unlikely to target. It's on. He's hit the post. Good save. It'll fall to McMillan. I don't think I've seen Ollie Casey ever have a shot, Ben.
Neither have I. Only attempts I've seen him have been by his head.
Beautiful effort. Took one touch and went for goal. Didn't think he'd pull the trigger, but he did with a real vehement, great effort. As still Leeds come forward. Huggins again, trying to cause a problem to the far post. Header back. Keeper saves once more. That's 2 good saves. And that header from McKinstry now playing on the right-hand side of midfield rather than the left. But Casey playing really far forward. He was asking for it. Great effort. Good save as well. You've got to praise the keeping twice, Ben.
Fantastic save, especially from the first effort there from Ollie Casey, as you mentioned. Not too many times you've seen him having an attempt at goal. Only attempts you do have when he's gone forward for set pieces and he's attacked the ball. Just need to be careful trying to play out from the back there. Has won the free kick, but fantastic effort. He just came by from a turnover, win the ball high up the pitch. Great effort.
Yeah, Gelhardt's got in behind from McKinstry's pass. Now he tries to go for goal, takes a deflection, loops off the bar. McMillan, there is Allen, still won't go in for Leeds. Now the body's queuing up. A goal again from Casey. And he's gone for goal with the right-hand side, slicing it wide. Well, 2 shots in 45 seconds from Ollie Casey. And he's not too far away again, but Joe Gelhardt, that's where he's so dangerous, when he's got the defender, he's got the goal side. And just as he goes for that, he might have got a little bit lucky with the first slip. But again, he's unlucky with the second. It hits the bar, and that's twice now McMillan's at the far post. It just hasn't fallen to him. Good pressurising from Leeds once more, and now they're back into that steady rhythm that they were in the first half. They're setting the tempo. They're trying to attack down both flanks. The new formation might have caught Reading by surprise as Allen tries to scoop the ball up, and Al Huggins has gone down holding the left ankle. As Croft, it's just an impact injury, he can continue. Throw-in's given, I think it's a free kick. The referee's going to have to see now Huggins here, surely he does. And we hope it's nothing serious, but he hasn't moved too much. And always an awkward when you jump up for a header. You've got to land well, and you never know. He's back on his feet now. I think he's rejected the physio, so it's a good sign.
Yeah, so we need him out on the pitch. Has been a big player for us start of this season, even more so in this game. I think he's been absolutely fantastic so far. But going back to Joe Gelhardt, you can already see him further up the pitch, being an out-and-out kind of number 9 now. The effect has already had in this second half. Won a free kick close up, closing down, and nearly got on the score sheet.
Casey tries to outmuscle the defender, which is the number 6 of Nelson Abbey. He does well to hold off Casey. And a big impact since stepping off the bench. He has to get across to his right-hand side now, which he does. Brill, great shout. Tells Drame not to get a touch on it and keeps possession. McMillan runs into traffic. Reading's pressure too strong. Now they're going to have a shot from goal. No, it's a good ball. Here comes Lawless. Capril with a save. Drame flicks it away as well. And Leeds do so well to hold on, because Drame and Capril, little moments of appreciation, little nod of quality play from each other. Good following up from the right back, who made it look very easy. Didn't panic. He could have kicked it, could have stumbled over the ball, and Elijah Capril out like a light as well, straight off his line bend. And got to say to Reading, and as much as Leeds have played very well, Reading are still firmly in this game, and I still even think if Leeds got 2 or 3 goals this afternoon, Reading would be still fighting and going for goal themselves.
Well, you mentioned about the nod of appreciation, just the passing appreciation, trying to play out from the back, just not getting it quite right. Every time we played a pass, the person receiving it had a Reading player straight on top of him, couldn't play out anywhere, and forced themselves into a big mistake trying to play out, man over. Fortunately, just his first touch there just kind of gave Capri the option just to come out, smother the distance, and he did so. Good goalkeeping.
It was a good bit of teamwork play from Reading. Could have gone for a shot from the edge of the box, but their winger Conor Lawless was open wide, and they tried to use him. And Leeds with the press. That pass is nearly at McMillan's feet. He has managed to wrestle it. He's unlucky though. He gets beaten to the second ball. Casey likewise. That could be a yellow card. The physio's coming on, and Casey gives him a quick tap, and the card is coming out the back pocket. And I think the referee just looked at Casey to see, well, look at the damage you've done. How can I not card you? But I did think it was a bit high, Ben. I thought it came down the top of the shin, and I don't think you can have any complaints.
It's one of those, as a player, you always say, well, referee, it's my first one. And unfortunately, you could see what he was trying to do. Just got kind of caught wrong foot, couldn't work his feet quick enough for Casey.
Doesn't matter how bad the first one is, it's just the first one.
It's always one of those as a player, isn't it? That's my first one, referee. Yeah, but it's quite high. All right, then, it's a yellow.
Yeah, he's frustrated. Hopefully the Reading player's good to go, but determined play from him. You can see why such an important tackle could have been made. He could have released Charlie Allen with a quick forward run. Reading were very open in the middle, but wasn't to be. And the player he's caught is Imari Samuels. As Reading captain Ryan East gets ready to put the ball down. It was this man here that was the architect for the first goal for Sam Smith to open the scoring. Leeds have kept the pair quiet since, and it's good that they have, because they combined to devastating effect before that. Replay of the Leeds goal, if you did miss it earlier, was that beautiful touch from Max Dean from that McKinstry cross. And now Leeds under pressure defensively as Chris Moore prods it wide. He gets a clap of the hands from Elijah Capril, who again tells everyone to switch on. He wants them a bit quicker, because Reading are not taking their time with this set piece. They're determined to hurry it up. As I say that, the man moves out of the way, and Ethan Bristow will come across to take it. So it's Casey's job now to mark Smith. It was Cresswell's in the first half. Leeds go man-to-man marking. Reading have been going zonal. Smith tried to get away from Casey. Ball across the far post. It's turned in, and Reading have managed to just flick that ball home, and it is Nahem Melvin Lamb that's got the goal. It was all very scrappy. Perhaps too many Leeds players focusing on the big man Smith, and from a defensive point of view, Ben, you're an ex-defender yourself. That isn't something that Leeds' defence will enjoy analysing next week.
No, it isn't. We did all the hard work start of the half, where quite a few corners in concession where they just couldn't quite clear him, but we stuck to the task. We stuck to the man marking system, and for some reason there, just a big gap opened up inside that 6-yard box. And whenever that does happen, you can be as tight as you want as a defender. All you just need is a little touch from an attacking point of view, and it finds the back of the net. So all the hard work where we've dealt with the set piece has kind of thrown it away there by just a big gap being created. Find ourselves 2-1 down, but the performance so far suggests there's plenty more goals in it for us, and that's the belief we've got to try and hold on to.
Yeah, certainly so. As Drame goes straight away for the attack, he was looking for Gallagher, who just tried to tell him he'd come short. So Leeds undone from a set piece. Hopefully they can regroup as well as they did in the first half, and they'll have a big chance of not only getting a second but getting a third if they respond in similar fashion. That pass is a little bit risky. Casey now knows he can't fly into the tackle. Dean tries to come forward and help out, but he's now given up the chance, and Bristow's got him behind him, so McKinstry has to get back, and Leeds are under pressure here towards the near post, and that's a poor effort from their centre forward. Bristow gets in behind again. Now, obviously, not going to question Mark Jackson's tactics, Ben, but I think just try to see where the midfielders are. It's quite difficult to see where Dean and McKinstry are differing between the two. And I just sense on the ball, Leeds perhaps need to get a bit more confidence in their coach's tactics. The plan was working in the first 5 or 6 minutes of the second half. Reading come forward again. Now here comes Huggins once more. Reading will try and bring him down here, and they do. And their coaches, one of their coaches has just turned away in frustration. It could well be the easiest yellow card the referee will give in this game or for several weeks, because he's just quite simply booted Niall Huggins. Ollie Casey's coming across for some instructions or maybe a drink, and it's a cynical foul. But yeah, the point I was making was in the first half we knew where Dean and McKinstry were playing. They were playing either flank, but I think McKinstry's gone to a right wing back role, and he and Dean seem to be getting in each other's way at times. It all looks a little disjointed the last few minutes.
Yeah, it has, but the times when it has worked, well, you can just see Ollie Casey, he's dropping back into midfield. So I think they're just going to revert back to what was happening in the first half. You see McKinstry saying, where do I go? Fully expect McKinstry probably to go out onto the left-hand side, as we've just made another substitution by the looks of things.
Yeah, 15 for 9, that would be Galloway for Max McMillan, which is more of a winger for a centre forward. And here is Galloway trying to get to the ball, and the reason why he gave up on it is because he knew he had a touch from a Reading player and he'll win the corner. So Mark Jackson's new instructions are on. A great start to his 23's tenure. No reason why the new system today will not work in Leeds' favour as well, as Casey's gone towards behind the keeper. Anderson looks pretty frantic as he tries to spot where Leeds' runners are going to go. Towards the far post, it's towards Moore. Reading's touch is just about enough. They're going to scramble it clear, only as the far edge of the box. Allen tries to put his foot through it and turn it goalwards, and he's frustrated, the Leeds youngster. And that sub is now confirmed at Josh Galloway for Max McMillan. What do you think to the change, Ben?
I think it just reverts back to what we've seen in the first half. So looks like Max Dean is going to play down the middle. We've seen him do that against Barrow with the under-21s. Joe Gellhart will drop back into midfield alongside Charlie Allen, and Ollie Casey will just drop back into that middle of the back three. So Cody Drymer comes to right wing back. Stuart McKinstry will go into a more advanced, wider position. And like I say, it's just what we saw in the first half.
Yeah, Huggins down the left and tries to win the throw-in. Does so successfully. Yeah, good spot from Ben, because McKinstry has gone left. Galloway's come right. Dean a bit more central alongside Gellhart, so Dean a chance to go play through the middle. Drama has been turned there by Lawless now. A chance for Moore to stand him up. They're in behind. East comes across and it's turned in. And it will be a goal for Ryan East. That ball was going into the bottom corner before it was turned in by a Leeds shirt, and Reading lead by 3-1. And just another lapse in concentration defensively. A bit too much strength from the Reading player. Got the right side of Drame, and it is 3-1 to the home side.
You think you've hit the nail right on the head there, Tom. Lapse of concentration. Just when we need to win those little 1v1 battles, just not quite come out on top of them. And every time Reading have got the better situation in their final third, they've punished us. And that's the step up in class, the step up in level in this league. We spoke about it against Stoke, spoke about it against Wolves. Every time you make a mistake, you're going to get punished at this level. So, look, 2 goals behind, 2 goals is the deficit now. Can we get back in it? 100% we can, but we've got to have the belief.
On the right. Big half an hour or so for Leeds as Allen's played. Reading feel that he's gone down cheaply. Good job the referee gave that, because Leeds were under pressure there. Allen to Moore. Moore coming forward. He's got Galloway. Galloway's always looking to get forward. This time he cuts back and finds Cody Drame. He's got options. Here is Gelhardt popping off the last man, trying to find a way for a shot. The pass is a little bit too relaxed. He knows he can make that sort of pass, but he just didn't get his bearings right, and Reading have conceded a throw-in. Here is Huggins to Galloway. Allen is beaten to the ball. Drame comes across to make sure Leeds get the ball back, and that's what Leeds need. A bit more second balls, a bit more higher ball retention. Leeds need to try and force the tempo as best they possibly can. Reading had just got into a groove of winning every second ball in the last 10 minutes, as now here comes McKinstry. He's just budged off the ball by the bigger man in Samuels, but he gets it back. Now he tries to play in Dean. No, he goes for goal. It takes a deflection. He blazes over. I say deflection. It was a good save from Jorkel Anderson, but when it came back to him, I think he just needed the same amount of power he put on the first pen. Get your body over the ball. Easy for us to say here, of course. He's got a split second, Stuart McKinstry, and we know he's good enough to do it. He's just tried to generate into the top corner, and he's just put too much on it. But I guess we have to praise the good play. Great bit of defensive work, and I think once he's got there, he has every right to go for goal.
He does, but I just think the angle were against him. He'd done all the hard work by, like you're saying, Tom, winning the ball back. Whether Max Dean was in a better position, whether he could just laid him off for a first-time finish. Clearly didn't think that was the case. McKinstry, like I just said, I just think the angle was against him. There'd have to be some finish to beat the goalkeeper from where he was, but good work, good closing down.
Yeah, Jeriel Dorset is now on for Reading. Extra body at the back, trying to hold on for this victory. Huggins has got to get there. Smith turns inside him. Now he tries to get it past the referee. It will hit the side of the ref, and of course with the new ruling, that means the game has to come to a stop. Referee's just try to recreate the situation here that Reading were in, which I love how Leeds have managed to do this here, because Joe Gelhardt and Stuart McKinstry were not stood there 20 seconds ago, so Leeds are better suited to this. Sam Smith isn't stupid. He's going to tell the referee that isn't the case, and we move back and carry on. Dean, the sole striker, trying to call a nuisance up front, and he nearly does that, nearly gets the tackle in, and Leeds, you can see the tempo's lifted in defence there. A bit more anger in the tackle. Gelhardt tries to go past his man, and takes the ball off him. Smith again, and he's just going to try and guide his team around the park up front, and you can see him try to win some free kicks in the next 20 minutes, Ben. Hold up play, bring his team into the game. To Leeds to try and respond, and just proves how difficult the league's going to be if Leeds can continue to march up the table. They are going to get some stumbling blocks along the way, and again, if any of our fans are listening in and watching today and a little bit disappointed, there's a reminder that 5 or 6 of the team today play for the year below, not the 23s. As a foul by McKinstry, a late tackle, and only 3 subs, of course, as well. Still a very valiant effort and still plenty of time, and I think it speaks volumes more than anything, Ben, that the under-18s players have certainly held their own.
That's a natural progression for him, having Mark Jackson now as the manager as well. They know how he works. On the flip side, he knows what he expects to get out of the players as well, so Yellow could be disappointed how we've conceded the 3 goals. I don't think it's been kind of good play from Reading. I think we've kind of gifted them all 3 of the goals, but that's up to our boys now. Can you dig in? Can you work? Can you try and get something out of this game where large parts of it we've been the better team. We've looked to threat going forward. Just feel in the second half what worked well in the first with Niall Huggins, we've just not really got him involved in the game, whether that's a tactical point of view from Reading stopping that threat. But if we can get him back into the game and cause some more problems, we can definitely get back into the game.
Ball in from Drame towards the near post. It just went over the head of Gelhardt. Good flick away from Reading. just made sure that they couldn't restart the attack in the centre of midfield, Leeds. Instead they have to go pretty much from halfway. Casey to Mullen. Gallagher has to watch out here. He's going to go for goal. Joe Gallagher, it's a good effort. And the keeper saves. And there's a reason why he's trying to waste time. Reading is going to try and slow the clock down, because any scouting, any analyst work they've done, Reading, on this Leeds team, they'll have known that Joe Gallagher pops into the free space and they can't allow him a shot, and they've done just that. Smith not happy at the attention he's getting from Huggins. Leeds perhaps, well, I don't think we've seen Huggins get down the left more than once in the second half. Another change in system stopped him at first, but that's one of the areas that they exploited. We need to see a bit more than that if we're going to get an equaliser or a second goal.
That's where you have to give a bit of credit to Reading in that aspect. I just think they've set up second half. As we see the shot from Gallagher, the keeper's done really well to keep hold of it, just dipped in front of him. But if we can get Joe Gallagher into those positions more, we know he's got the quality to find the back of the net.
Yeah, Mullen. Pass to Huggins. Smith comes flying out to try and stop it. Huggins has got to the ball first. Now he tries to get past Pendlebury. He's got Gellhart on his inside. Leeds need to try and take advantage here into McKinstry. He's to come across to try and stop him. Back to Huggins once more. Leeds forced back to Mullen. Due to the Reading press, Leeds can't go back, so Mullen has to go forward on his own. He's done very well here, Jeremiah Mullen. Tries to turn the ball inside, and for a centre-back, that's a really good, strong effort. Close control, Huggins into the box. Long looping clearance, it's going to fall to Galloway, is it? No, Reading get there. Galloway comes again. And Reading, like they have done so many times, managed to get away. Galloway once more, strike into the corner, and Reading appealing for the offside flag, but it is not going to come. And Galloway, beautiful first touch, kills the ball dead, and a big smile on his face, because the 2 under-18s players in this team have come into the fold and got a goal, and you can see what it means to the youngster off the bench. And Josh Galloway has got a goal.
Fantastic finish, clinical. As you mentioned, Tom, the key to it was that first touch, because the ball came in a pace, and Reading, they're appealing for offside. I just think it was their left back just lazy, not getting out. You can see the first touch, killed it dead, turns on it, smash it into the back of the net, game on.
Yeah, really smart run. And a lovely first touch, and again, it was a bit scrappy from Leeds' point of view. That original shot wasn't that intended target. It was supposed to be going a totally different direction, but that's what you have to do. It's what Reading have done so far. And here is Mullen, and that will give Leeds such confidence. You can see what it meant to the players. They can get a second goal with another change in system. They're new personnel for both teams. It's a good game to watch this, and let's hope for a big 16-17 minutes as well, as here is Mullen in possession. Back to Allen. Mullen again to McKinstry. McKinstry's going to have to be quick here. Great feet. Referee's going to give the free kick. Don't think Leeds are too bothered by it. Yeah, any momentum they had has now stopped, so I do wonder why the referee decided to give them that, as here comes Moore. Big first touch, tries to take it out of his feet and start an attack, and it is with Drame. Beautiful pass towards Galloway, leads in behind. Now he takes his time across the face of goal, and it's blocked at the near post by the substitute, Gerald Dorset. And Leeds have a spring in their step for the first time in this second half, Ben.
Yeah, they do, and this is what Galloway does offer. He's lively, he's bright, tries to get in down the sides of the fullbacks of the centre halves. He's really clever in his movement. So look at it, you could just see what he's trying to do, just wrap it across the face of the 6-yard box.
Kingstree. Here is Moore, header, just going to sink under the bar, and he's tipped it over as Anderson, and Moore for the second time has a battle with the Reading goalkeeper. Some header, Ben, some power to generate it from there.
It'd have been some goal as well, just how far he's out from the goal. Had to generate all the power himself. Just done well to win another corner out of that situation.
Yeah, Max Dean just giving a few instructions out to the three centre halves, Casey, Mullen and Moore. It's taken short towards Huggins, who now in fact goes to Charlie Allen. He floats it into the box up towards Casey. Reading going to head it clear. Only as far as the edge of the box. Pendlebury, it's a high boot on Gelhardt. Surely referee says nothing. Pendlebury and Gelhardt have been in each other's faces all day. Now Leeds trying to take advantage of the fact that Reading have fallen asleep. They did that on a couple of occasions in the first half. Here's McKinstry. McKinstry uses the dummy runner. Perhaps he needs to get rid of it. Still going, Stuart McKinstry. Great close control, good strength. You can tell that Reading are getting a bit frustrated by him as they really try to roll up their sleeves and dig in to keep the 3 points coming their way. Gelhardt's got the wrong side of them. Gelhardt into the box. Galloway. The back heel goes the wrong way. And did it take a touch off a Reading player? It does. And Joe Gelhardt is starting to find more and more space, Ben, into those little areas. And if I'd be a Reading player, I'd be getting a bit more worried. It's a really good battle this to watch 15 minutes in, because we know that Reading can go the other end and score. So
yeah, it's such an entertaining game with real quality. Just hoping, can we just stay on top whilst we're on top like this, make it count, get that third goal. But as you mentioned, don't give him anything to go away and get a counter-attack fourth.
Yeah, McKinstry takes it short. Here is Gelhardt again, low and hard, blasts it towards goal, takes another deflection. It will be another corner. We have seen spells in this game where the corners have really racked up for both teams. Repeat situations. Here's McKinstry again. This time it looks like it is going to go towards the box this time. It's not the best delivery. Gelhardt gets there, he goes down, penalty appeals, and the referee, as you can clearly tell, has ignored most of them. And there's so many Leeds players. Max Dean's complaining, Drame's complaining. Well, I'm not quite sure why. If Gelhardt's gone down, well, everyone's trying to tell him to go across to his linesman on the far side. The referee, no matter what, Ben, isn't interested, but that Reading player did not get a touch to that ball. Joe Gelhardt is claiming he did. We see a replay of it here. Your thoughts, Ben?
Well, honestly, I can't believe what I'm seeing here by the referee, because you're not going to get a more blatant penalty kick in the whole league campaign, because always look on the players' reactions as well, and sometimes you get one or two around the official, but it'll literally all our team running towards the referee there, because they can see it's a clear penalty. The man that counts, the man that matters, hasn't seen it. It's just a baffling decision.
Yeah, Joe Gelhardt gratefully is still on his feet. It was a decent whack, and he's managed to shake that off. And Leeds, I think, have got the bit between their teeth here. They feel a little bit hard done to. That's a cracking point you made as well, Ben, by the reaction. I think it was Conor Lawless, and he just quite simply froze and didn't really do much. Sheepishly walked away. Drame tries to play the 1-2 with Galloway. It doesn't come off, so Leeds have to keep this up. Reading have barely had a touch in the last 10 minutes. And Leeds have to make sure that stays the same. Harass them just like they have done there with Coda Drame. Don't let them put 3 or 4 passes together. A couple of Reading players are filling the pace. One guy trying to stretch the legs out as Smith's going to come off, and let's see that as a sign of good news if I was a Leeds player. The next man coming on, of course, could be just as powerful, just as a threat, but we know what Smith brought to the team. That player now going into the middle of the park, so more of a defensive change perhaps. Reading just trying to shore things up, make sure that they stay 3 goals up against Leeds. 3 goals to 2 as here comes Joe Gelhardt, tries to play the pass. Oh, it's a great ball towards Dean. Keeper saves once again. And that ball from Joe Gelhardt, I thought he was just going to go for goal, Ben. I was thinking he's going to take a touch, he's going to strike this one, but defence splitting pass, and Max Dean stayed on side, and another top save. This is end-to-end as now Reading come forward. Mullins beaten by the ricochet. Gelhardt gets back, puts his foot in, and the referee is going to listen to the man on the far side. I think he said it's offside flag.
Yeah, offside flag is up, but so close to getting back on level terms yet again. You called it, Tom. What a pass that is by Joe Gelhardt. Max Dean's done everything right. You always say to a striker in that position, shoot across the goalkeeper, and that's where you need a bit of luck when he parries it out. Can it just fall to one of our attacking players coming in for a simple tap-in? Unfortunately, Reading made it clear, but again, another good sign. Big 10 minutes coming up.
A good first touch as well from Dean. Gave himself that room to manoeuvre. That's not the best touch from Mullen. Has given the ball away. His head drops in frustration as he has to try and get back now. Down the line they come. Onan's got there. Allen's got to try and stand him up across the face of goal, and that was a dangerous ball, and that's where the centre forward should have been. Chris Moore goes on a bit of a solo run. Just seeing glimpses of Chris Moore's ability on the ball. A couple of times he's gone for a bit of a trek downfield. He's looked very good doing so. Could be a sight we see as he matures and comes through the age groups. Again, Leeds, the press is so intense as Dean gets on his way. You can tell just how much it'd mean to these young players to rally and at least leave Reading with a point. It's a long old journey if you're not going to come home without anything, especially in a good position. And the referee just brought the game to a close, and McKinstry, I think, frustrated there as Mullen's gone down. There's a few of these Leeds players that I think know they've got Reading in a good place. They're going to go across for a drink. Gives them a chance to chill out for a bit. It's been a very intense 20 minutes, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Again, echoed what I said moments ago. It's been a really entertaining game. You just see there with Mullen, I just think it's cramp more than anything. A young player, we first saw him in the under-21s at Accrington. On a difficult evening, he was like the one who kind of really stood out, had really good attitude. But no, you really just need to try and grind through if you can. And this is the goal from Galloway, got us back into the contest, made it 3-2. And as we said, it's all about the first touch there, just to kill the pace as it came towards him, did the ball. Could turn in an instant, they had to take another touch, and that was the key to getting his strike away, find the back of the net.
Yeah, hopefully we've got a big 10 minutes to come as Leeds try and get themselves back into this contest in terms of a third goal. If they get it early enough, they'll feel that they've got the momentum behind them for a fourth as well, as the ball is played up. Here is East, captain for Reading, trying to guide his team to victory. Bristow turned inside Galloway. Leeds have to make sure they don't give any sloppy free kicks where that's all Reading want. Little bits to time waste as Galloway comes across. That's a strong tackle. That took a deflection, I think, off a Reading man. And the referee points Leeds his way. Good work from Galloway. Should be a throw in, and is.
Come out!
Back with East, through ball, and that's towards Moore. Good first touch, gives him a chance to make the pass. That pass is wayward though. He's looking for Charlie Allen. Work from Huggins in defence. McKinstry has to be careful here, can't let that ball go out for a corner. He has let it go out for a throw and he's been caught though. Has to get back to his feet. Leeds know they can't waste much time themselves. Leeds now win the throw. In the last 5 minutes Reading have done quite well, Ben, I thought, or the last couple at least, 3 or 4. Stop that flow of attacks and just try to win the arm wrestle a bit more.
Yeah, they're just kind of just spoiling the tempo of the game out there. They've got every right as well, but we've just got to try and find a way out of that. Can we just try and get the ball on the floor, keep the ball, can we have a bit of a switch of the play, because it's all crowded, so many bodies in that area of the pitch at the moment.
Yeah, Leeds need a bit more width if they can. Allen with Mullen. Need to win a free kick. Reading are not happy with that, but again, this is exactly what Reading want. They're now trying to slow the play up and stand on the ball. Charlie Allen not happy with that, as it's Huggins that's been caught. Feeling the effects of that as he tries to limp his way down the touchline. McKinstry. Here is Dean. Dean goes up high towards Galloway. Now can he bring it under control? He tries to backheel it to Drame. Drame towards the far post. Nobody there for Leeds running to the near. Just needed somebody to go a bit more central. That wasn't the worst cross. Mullen looking for Huggins. He's done so well to keep it in. Mullen gets back to the ball. Huggins is going to go forward. He runs into his own teammate in Joe Gallagher. That's going to hurt. Referees ignored all free kick appeals. Both teams were playing for it, and Reading here sent a fourth goal. I think they feel that that's their only way to kill the game, that rather than try and slow this down to deny Leeds a third, Ben, their only way to really get this done is 4. Very ambitious.
Certainly seems that way, because every time we go forward we look a real threat. We have to say the same about Reading so far.
Yeah, it has been a very interesting second half, and they come again. Into the middle it comes. Shot's going to come in, and it's high and over the top. That's good news for Leeds. It's back to Chris Moore. 4 minutes to go. Down the line they come. Galloway's got the right side of him. He goes down. I don't think there was too much in that, to be honest, Ben. Referee agrees. Galloway comes in with a late challenge, and he's going to be in trouble here. Reading's players are not happy. I can understand his frustrations. He probably thought he was fouled, but you can't go in that late. Could have Drame. He's just trying to tell him to calm down. Yellow card is out.
That's the fine margins of football right there. Galloway just thought he got the wrong side of Bristow. Unfortunately, I just think Bristow just got goal side of him, just in the nick of time to win the ball back. And then Galloway, great reactions to losing the ball. Just tried to put a bit of pressure on Bristow as he was clearing the ball. Again, just half a yard just off on the challenge. And here's a yellow card, but that's just the fine margins either side.
Yeah, late. Could see that card coming a mile off as Moore gets up, and here is Casey. Casey to Drame down the right-hand side. Always under pressure. Now he's got to get there. He gets the slightest touch, which helps Casey. Elia Caprile comes out, and good handling. Make sure he kills the ball and doesn't let it slide out from the edge of the box. Leeds running out of time to go and get that third. Moore down the touchline. Chris pass to Drame. He's looking for Gallagher in behind. It was the pass, but just couldn't get it to work. Leeds take it quickly. Reading are flagging a little bit, looking tired as Gallagher's taken them. Now he goes down in the box. He's going to get the free kick, Joe Gallagher, but he makes it look so easy. It's not often you see a player beat two and make it look easier than it is beating 1.
And then he's still on the floor fighting for the second ball, the second phase, and he comes away with the ball again. There's some players, Joe Gallagher, I just love his attitude, everything about his all-round game. And again, he's won a free kick in a dangerous position. You can see McKinstry just trying to steal a few yards, put it closer to edge of the 18-yard box.
This might make it harder for him. The Reading players noticed. McKinstry's now not happy. Spray's down, so it doesn't matter now. No one can move it.
Would not be surprised Joe Gallagher has a shot from this situation.
He's certainly come across late, hasn't he? He's had a little quick thought in his head. I think he's trying to tell everybody where he wants them. The arms are moving around frantically. Joe Gallagher with a minute of normal time to go to put Leeds level if he can, with either a shot or a pinpoint cross. Gallagher steps up, goes for goal, he puts power on it. Intention was right, you could see what he was trying to do. He wanted the power and then the dip at the back post. Someone can head it in. The issue is it never dipped.
Don't even think if you was tall as Peter Crouch you'd have been able to reach that the back post. Disappointing, he just wanted to hit it into an area, try and get something on target, get runs across the goalkeeper, the face of the goal. It was just nothing in the end.
Ball back down the left. Little ball inside. Oh, it's a lovely pass into Dean. He's got options to his right-hand side. He flicks it to McKinstry. McKinstry's going to go for goal. Just not enough power. And it was straight down the throat of the keeper. Well worked by Dean. Lovely pass to get inside. Just felt that perhaps maybe though that once he played that pass, Leeds are always trying to drag the ball back forward, Ben.
There was, but again, just another nearly moment. There's been quite a few of those occasions in this second half. Worked it well. Yeah, we finished with an end product by testing the goalkeeper out, but it could have quite easily found back of the net. So many near moments.
Yeah, Reading coming forward, intercepted by Casey. Now can he kickstart a move? He's trying to, with a sweeping ball out to the left-hand side. It is towards Huggins, who's staying really far forward. He runs into traffic, though. Perhaps the franticness, Ben, is playing into Reading's hand rather than Leeds, which is the opposite of what we wanted. As Huggins has stayed down, perhaps a spot of cramp as Alan dances his way past a couple before being thrown to the floor.
Yeah, I think you reckon, but you can just see there Ollie Casey. He's kind of saying, right, let's go long. Not long left. Already played nearly a minute and a half of stoppage time. He's just thinking of this situation. Can we go get bodies forward, use our height? It's kind of a throwback. You don't really see this too many times from a Leeds team in U23's first team level. You're always trying to play out from the back.
Yeah, Caprilli's up there. Drame's going to have to sit on halfway as the cover. Someone has to make sure that Reading can't counter for a fourth. So all hands on deck for Reading defensively. Leeds putting everybody forward. Into the box it comes. Potential handball claims. Leeds are adamant it hit the hand of the Reading man. It was too frantic for us to see. Huggins goes again with Charlie Allen. Allen across midfield. It's a curling ball to Galloway. Galloway's got to be quick here. The Reading player was quicker. And it will be a throw-in. Leeds had to be quick though. Drame's realised that. Now he needs a runner. Gallagher sets off. Galloway might want to do the same, but he might have to go long here. Casey's telling him he wants it on his head. The issue is he's got two players, so here is Gallagher once more. Tries to find a way through, runs into trouble. Drame goes towards the far post. Reading deal with it well. Got a number of centre-backs back. They've put too many defenders on the pitch for these looping crosses. It has to be inch perfect if Leeds want to find a fellow shirt. Into the 3rd minute of stoppage time as Drame nearly finds Gallagher. Allen's got Huggins on the left. Huggins picks it up. He might try and go one of his runs. He is going to in fact go first time into the box. Another deflection away by Reading. Allen again. Drame has McKinstry. McKinstry needs a helping runner. Gallagher gets it, tries to flick it around the outside of him. All a bit ambitious, and the full-time whistle goals. So Reading do well to win 3-2. A really end-to-end battle. Leeds give everything they possibly had, Ben, and it has finished 3-2 at the Bearwood Park training ground. And lessons learnt from Matt Jackson's men.
Yeah, big lessons learnt. Really entertaining game as a whole. We just kind of free errors and kind of key moments of the game really left us too much to do. But plenty of positives. A young team, a big change team from the last outing against Middlesbrough. So probably more experienced players to come back in. But the young ones who've come in today, they can hold their heads high because they've done themselves proud. Good performance, plenty of things to work on, and it's probably been a mixed start to the campaign. You kind of expect that, new players coming into the system, but one thing they do give, they always give the all. They always give 100%. So roll on the next game, learn your lessons, and take that into the next match.
Yeah, Charlie Cresswell trying to give his players and his teammates a lift. So Leeds hoping to win 3 in a row. It wasn't to be. They stay 3rd in the table. Reading do move on to 4th in the table, and it is Norwich next up. So big disappointment in terms of result, but a real hearty display, and that's all for us on LUTV. It's finished Reading 3, Leeds United 2.